Bom dia, it is day 8 at the Olympic Stadium, the ancient hour for the Rio 2016 Paralympic Games athletics, and the usual spectacular fare awaits. Every single session so far has given us a world record. 23 Celsius at the moment in the shade. Out on the track, it is 30. Somewhat overcast today, but that will obviously change. Crowd getting in situ. We've got 8 finals in this morning session, 5 in the track and 3 in the field. Some very, very significant action is on the way here today. We'll start off straight away with the final of the men's 5,000 meters T13. Now, this is the category that gave us the 1,500 meters final. That was faster than the Olympic Games one. Men's 1,500 meters T52 as Raymond Martin goes for another gold medal. We've got the final of the men's 400 meters T44 featuring the 200 champion Liam Malone. The men's 800 meters T54. All the big names are here. The semi-final winners were David Weir, Marcel Hoog, Saishan Kongzhen, all in search of a gold medal. We round up with the men's 400 meters T13.
Yes, and another excellent session coming up. We have the crowd nice and fired up in the back straight already, with plenty of dancing going on, and you can see there the crowd waiting for the action to get underway. And we get straight into it with that final of the men's 5,000 meters T13. We're going to have a field of 12 to start. To the country of Mauritius with a couple of chances throughout the program, including El Amin Tentouf. And we see plenty of interest as well in the Kenyan Henry Kerwa, who was a bronze medalist in the 1,500 meters and has 5 Paralympic medals next to his name. The first of the field events will be getting underway very shortly as well. That will be the women's discus throw, the F57 final, one of the 3 field finals that is taking place in this early session. The youngsters out in force again, cheering on their heroes as we move to the men's 5,000 meters.
Yes, now that 1,500 meters final from the weekend getting lots of publicity. It was won by Abdelatif Baka, who is not in this, but he does go in the 400 meters final later today. And as we say, it was 2 seconds faster than the Olympic Games decider. It features the bronze medalist from that, Henry Kerwa, the former Paralympic champion, won 3 gold medals in 2008 in Beijing. A really strong field right across the board. A lot of that 1,500 meters field are in this, Lukas Witecki of Poland included. So let's run through the field. Bilal Hamami of Tunisia's first major championship was disqualified in that 1,500 meters final, but he'll be looking to get a finishing place against his name here. For Australia, from Diamond Valley Athletics Club in Melbourne, 7th in the 1,500 meters final here, and 7th in the 5,000 in Doha at the World's Jarry Clifford. Bilal Ouali of Tunisia, his first major championship, finished 6th in the 1,500 meters final. Now we've got a couple of reigning Pan Am Games champions here. Yeltsin Jacques, born in the summer of 1991, hence the name. The Pan Am Games champion over 1,500 meters and 5,000. El Amin Tentouf won the 5,000 meters in London 2012 and won 3 golds in Lyon in the 2013 World Championships. Guillaume Ouellet from Canada, the other Pan Am champion over the 1,500 meters distance. He's from Quebec. Youssef Ben Ibrahim from Morocco, silver in the 5,000 meters in Beijing. Silver in the 1,500 in Lyon in 2013. He's from Casablanca, but will always in Paris. Gustavo Nieves of Spain, the bronze medalist in the 5,000 meters in 2014 in Swansea. The European champion from Poland is Lukas Witecki, gold in the 15 and the 5 in Grosseto back in June. The former Paralympic champion over 1,500, 5,000 and 10,000 metres in Beijing in 2008. Bronze in the 15 here, Henry Kerr from Kenya. Here's Julio Cesar Agrippino dos Santos, 12th of the 1,500 metres final, representing Brazil. And from the United States, silver in the 5,000 at the Pan Ams in Toronto, it is Chaz Davis. All ready for the men's 5,000 metres final. And away we go. Davis, Agrippino dos Santos, Kerr with Dechki, Neves, Bin Ibrahim, Wele, Shentouf, Jacques, Aloui, Clifford and Amami. A lot of the field of that very fast 1,500 metres final. Only Henry Kerr in terms of the medalists in this. Elamine Shentouf, former champion. Remember, he won the 5, the 10 and the marathon in Lyon at the World Championships in 2013, and the 5,000 metres Paralympic title. He is the reigning Paralympic champion from London 2012. He going out straight away along with Kerwin, and it looks like Bill Eloy as well, who finished 6th in that 1,500 metres final, the 26-year-old Tunisian. Look at the gap straight away. There's a mix of T12s and T13s in this. T12 being medium visual impairment, so they can go with the guide if they wish, and as you see, some have. T13s, least visual impairment, no guides. It's a really strong lead. You can look at that. It's around 40 metres straight away between the leading three, and it's three quality athletes who've decided to go for this right from the start. In Kerwa, Shentouf, who've won the last 5,000 metres titles, the last two between them, and also Bilal Awali of Tunisia breaking away as well. The rest going their own pace, which is fair enough. Large gap all the way back. Bit of danger in there in the main bunch, particularly in the form of the European champion Lukas Witecki, who won the European title over 15 and 5. But we've got 11 laps to go and 3 away out ahead of the rest.
And that trio at this stage, Shentouf, Kerwa and Alawi, they are the 3, 1, 2 and 3. And then that gap has been pushed out to about 50 metres now. Ben Ibrahim is in 4th position, leading that group behind. And then we have Chaz Davis from the USA. And just trying to stay out of trouble at this stage as Wale from Canada. And losing a position or two, Jared Clifford from Australia. You can see a couple of athletes with guides in this race. But this is the trio that look as though they're fighting out the medals at this early stage. Coming into the straight with 10 laps to go. Shentouf, the leader, trying to run his own race here at the moment. The defending T12 Paralympic champion out in front of Kerwa, who's the flag bearer here for Kenya in Rio. And then in 3rd, in their slipstream at this stage, is Lawi from Tunisia, a personal best of 15:54.7, which he managed to run this season. And they still hold that 50-metre margin. Tunisia up in 5th position at the moment as well, with Hamami, who has improved, can run under 15 minutes. That is moving up in that main group now on the outside and is challenging for Witecki for 4th position. As you can see, that group there, the Brazilian Jacques is in the pack there along with Agrippino dos Santos. But let's have a look at this trio, still looking pretty comfortable coming around the turn with 9 laps to go. It is Shentouf in front. 67.44 was the last lap. Interesting to see if they've stepped it up a shade or they're remaining pretty consistent. 30 degrees trackside at the moment. Kerr in 2nd place, Alawi in 3rd. So with 9 laps to go, it was 68.14. So they're pretty steady here at the moment as the main group now go past the line as well, and they receive the 9 laps to go.
Yeah, Kerr, Shentouf and Louis, the 3 out in front. There was that really strange statistical quirk in this category in the 1,500 metres final where Baca Won in 3:48.29, 2 seconds inside the Olympic winning time by Matt Setrovitz. That was a really slow tactical Olympic final here at the engine now. Matt Setrovitz, a really excellent athlete, but it was the slowest Olympic 1500 meters final in something like 80 years. And it's generated a huge amount of newsprint, and the main thing you should take out of it is that the athletes we're watching here, they really are good. It was obviously an incredible statistical quirk. I'll tell you one thing for nothing. It would take something remarkable for this bunch to beat the 5,000 meters Olympic winning time from Mo Farah. That was 13 minutes dead. World record in this is 13:53 from Elamin Shentouf, who's going out in front. Now, he's a T12, there's medium visual impairment. A marvelous athlete. These three are actually. That's why they've decided to go for it straight from the get-go. Lead of about 100 meters. Shentouf, Kerwa, and Louis. Kerwa, the oldest of them, he's 43 years old, but longer distance running allows that, really. Elamin Shentouf is 35. Louis is the babe of the leaders at the age of 26. It's a massive, massive gap back to 100 meters as they go through 2,000 and 5:36.26. It's really solid running. Then you go all the way back, and the rest are happy enough to run their own pace, maybe feeling that there might be an instance that one of these three medalists might blow themselves out. Or maybe they all will. But they've been here before, and I remember Shentouf doing a lot of this during the Paralympic Games, and he did it in Lyon as well when he did that long-distance treble, the 5 to the 10, and then the marathon on the final day. But it's as you were at the front. Shentouf 1, Kerwa 2, Louis 3, 7 laps to go, and the rest of the field way, way back playing catch-up. But they're getting into position at the moment. Agrippina dos Santos is in a solid position, actually, for Brazil, right up towards the front. And the other Moroccan, Ben Ibrahim, there also. And they also now with 7 laps to go.
It's looking quite comfortable at the moment. There's Witecki. He just got a little spurt on a couple of laps ago and positioned himself to be third wheel in that group. At the moment, Wale from Canada leads that pack that is just starting to separate a little bit. But still doing all of the heavy lifting out in front is Shentouf. And then that was Wale leading the rest of the pack for Canada in 4th position. But as they come into the straight, last lap was 69.06. So if anything, just gradually slowing it off Shentouf, even though he is doing the work out in front from Kerwa in 2nd place. And then it is Louis from Tunisia, the 26-year-old in 3rd with 6 laps to go, 69.97. So just getting a couple of cheaper laps there, the last 2 laps for Shentouf. And here come the remainder with Wale in 4th position. And then still looking like he's holding his form pretty well is Ben Ibrahim in 5th place. And then the first of the athletes with a guide, the first of the Brazilians, Agrippina dos Santos, in next position. And it looks as though there's been a little bit of an issue as well. Oh, it is him, Agrippina dos Santos. Just as I said it as he was improving. You can see in the background there in that camera shot, he has pulled up, unfortunately. It looks as though he has done himself an injury. You also saw in that pack the Australian Jared Clifford. He wants to be the first Australian to compete at the Paralympics and Olympic Games. He's still running his own race, but that's unfortunate that Agrippina dos Santos has pulled up. But as they come down the straight, interesting to see the first two coming away now. Shentouf and Kerwa, who's had the cheap seat on him, and he is clear now of Alawi in 3rd place, and then he would have a gap of about 80 metres on the 4th runner, which is Wale, who still isn't out of bronze medal contention at this point as they head to the back.
Well, the acceleration has been put in here by the 2012 champion Elamin Shentouf and the 2008 champion Henry Kerwa. They're 1 and 2 in the moment. Falling back a little bit now in 3rd place is Bilal Aloui. Then a large gap back, around 100 metres, banging in 4th place. For Canada is Guillaume Wale, the world champion over 5,000 metres, the Pan Am champion over 100 and 500. Then another big gap back to 5th place. So the European champion from Poland, Lukasz Witecki. But it certainly looked to me as if Ben Ibrahim of Morocco had a little bit of a problem as well. He just stumbled over. That was about half a lap ago. He recovered well. But Agrippino dos Santos looked as if he'd pulled a hamstring or something like that. At the front, Shentuf and Kerwa have really put down the hammer, and the rest are finding it hard to compete. Louis with 4 laps to go, just behind these two in 3rd place, not very far back. A solid defence of the bronze medal at the moment, but surely gold and silver is going to be jousted between these two. Kerwa won the bronze back in London 2012 in this 5,000 metres when Shentuf dethroned him. It was his major championship debut, Shentuf. He finished 10th in the 1500, 11th in the 8, so you can tell that the longer distances are more for him. There's quite a few of this field who will also be in the marathon. Gustavo Nieves, particularly for Spain, was also one of those who was fighting hard in the middle of the field, but right now it is between these two, and it's a fine exhibition of long middle to long distance running between these two. Elamin Shentuf, his only Paralympic gold coming in this 4 years ago, but a 3 times world champion since then. Didn't finish the 5,000 metres. It took care of a lot of very, very big names back in Doha at the World Championships in the searing heat there. But it's pleasant conditions. It's only about 30 down on the track this morning. They'll be used to a lot hotter. It's 3 laps to go. It's Shentuf leading them out. It's Kerwa on his shoulder, who's been following him, stalking him all morning. And in 3rd, a good chunk back, Belal Aloui of Tunisia. And if anybody's going to upset the top 3 in 4th place, it's going to be the Canadian, Guillaume Willet.
So when's Kerwa going to make his move here? Shentuf, even though the 3rd runner has dropped away, they haven't been speeding up. 69.91 is the previous lap, and there is the 3rd runner, Aloui from Tunisia. Shentuf leads, Kerwa 2nd, and Kerwa has had every possible chance here sitting behind Shentuf. He's had the sweet seat the entire way, and just the expression on Shentuf's face, it is just starting to hurt, as you would expect now. So as they come down the straight, they'll get 2 laps to go at this point. 69.91 was the previous lap. What's Shentuf gone here? Or slower, 1:10.58. So Kerwa still looks so comfortable behind him. Just crossing the line is Aloui in 3rd place. The bronze medal looks pretty safe at this point. He's been able to fend off Ulay from Canada, who is looking tired. He is losing his form, really starting to wobble those shoulders around in 4th position. Then into a clear 5th is the other Brazilian in the race, and that is Yeltsin Jark, who's doing a terrific job with his guide, William Adamilson. So it'll be Brazil in 5th place at the moment, and then in 6th, it's Jared Clifford of Australia just coming past, and he has now got 2 laps to go. There is our bronze medalist if it remains this way. But coming around the turn, they're about to hear the bell across the stadium. Shentuf in front, and is Kerwa able to sprint past him? How much has Shentuf got left? 1:10.58 was the last lap. And let's just see what they've been able to clock here for the 2nd last lap before the big sprint towards the end. They have clocked 1:10.52, so basically identical with a lap to go.
Look at the effort on the face of Elamin Shentuf, the reigning champion from London 2012, the man he dethroned, the triple gold medalist from Beijing 2008. Kerwa's been on his shoulder throughout. The bell you heard there was for the 3rd placer, Aloui, who's around 100 metres back. Still the pace being set by Shentuf and Kerwa. Who's going to crack first, if any? Shentuf knows that Kerwa's been sitting there all race, waiting for the time to go on the outside. There's a big screen on both sides of the stadium. Shentuf will be glaring up the whole time. knowing that Kerr was still there. He can hear him, he can hear the footsteps. He knows Kerr was going to go, and now Kerr goes on the final bend. Does Shentuf have anything left in the legs? He looks around, and Kerr has got so much left in reserve. The timing absolutely perfect. Henry Kerr of Kenya's going to get his title back that he lost in London. He won it in Beijing. He wins in Rio. Kerr 14-17-32. Elamine Shentuf in second place gets the silver. And it'll be bronze for Tunisia for Bilal Aloui. In third place, he's going to take a minute and a half off his lifetime best gloriously. How about that for timing by Henry Kerr? He waited and he waited and he waited, and Shentuf knew it was coming, but there was absolutely nothing he could do. A 65-second last lap. Fourth will go to Wale of Canada, just outside his lifetime best, and there'll be a fifth placer for Brazil. It'll be Yeltsin Jacques. He and his guide, Guilherme and Mielsen, had a magnificent race to the line for sixth place, which in the end, I think Ben Ibrahim got ahead of the Australian here, Jared Clifford. And for the United States in eighth, it'll be Chaz Davis who got in. But in terms of the overall result, Henry Kerr, he's been here before. 1,500, 5,000, 10,000. He won in 2008 in Beijing. Elamine Shentuf won the 5, the 10 and the marathon in Lyon. And just when it came to the final sprint, as Witecki, the European champion, gets over the line for Poland. Shentuf with the silver medal this time. And when he reflects on it, he probably will be pleased. But not as happy as this man. Kerr is a Paralympic champion again.
Looks so comfortable throughout. And there are the lads from Tunisia who both put in outstanding displays, including the bronze medalist,
who, by the way, in his category, has run a world record for T13. 14:33.33, beating the 1995 record set in Buenos Aires by Said Gomez of Panama.
So 6 Paralympic records for this man. 4 of them gold. Bronze in the 1500 here. That gets his title back in the 5,000 metres. He was the man you wanted to be on throughout. It was an entertaining tussle between the top 3, and there's another retirement out of the race. That was Yusuf Ben Ibrahim, who, to his credit, was able to pick himself up and keep going. The Paralympic motto shown there: if you fall over, get back up and keep going. But Kerr, look at him power away coming into the straight. They are amazing, the Kenyans. They just continue to win long distance races with fresh legs, and that was a brilliant display. But full credit as well to Shentuf, who did all of the heavy lifting in front. The final lap 65.02, so really stepping it up. And look how fit he looks at the end of 5,000 metres. It's amazing.
It's a really solid time as well. I mean, 14:17.32. It's only 20 seconds outside. And I mean, Shentuf's world record set in London 2012 when he took the title off Kerr. But now the Kenyan has his revenge. And Kenya in this managing to do something that they weren't able to in the Olympic Games and win the 5,000 in the men. Henry Kerr takes it. 14 minutes, 17.32 seconds. Gold for Kenya. Elamine Shentuf, the silver from Morocco. And Bilal Aloui, the bronze for Tunisia. And in his category, a new world record. Agrippino and Nieves unable to finish.
Now, some field events for you, 3 finals. This is the women's discus F57 final. We see a field of 14 here. 30 degrees trackside for this final. And here is the starting lineup. And Ireland with Orla Barry here. And let's now go straight to the field. That was Martina Willing from Germany, who comes in at 57 years of age. So looking nice and relaxed, the discus throwers, but it's about to get a little bit more serious. And already we've seen Ayazi from Nigeria and Kaleva from Bulgaria with their first throws, and we'll keep you updated on that throughout. But we have more track action shortly as well, with the 1500 meters men's T52 category. And in this race, we see the silver medalist in the 400, Tomoki Sato, who was beaten by Ray Martin in the 400 meters. The man who comes in to Rio, the Paralympic champion in the 100, the 200, the 400 and the 800. Also the world champion in 100 meters and 1500 meters, Raymond Martin, going in as favourite here in the 1500. But some stiff opposition expected as they line up.
Yes, the field for the men's 1500 meters T52. Raymond Martin has been the past master of this. Now, this is an event not competed for in London 2012. And Thomas Geierspickler of Austria originally was due to be in this field. There were due to be semi-finals, but a couple of athletes pulled out with illness, including Geierspickler, the reigning European champion. And as a result, it is now a straight final containing 10. Raymond Martin is the reigning Pan Am and world champion, and Nabaru of Japan, a former world champion in his own right. That being in Christchurch in 2011. He's the one who's closest to picture here on the outside. And Nabaru, who finished 6th in the 400 meters final. 3 medals in Christchurch. Along with that 1500 meters title, he won silvers in the 4 and the 8. The Asian Games champion currently over 800 meters, and he won silver in the 1, the 2 and the 4. They're also in Incheon in Korea. Stephen Tioji from the United States. Pan Am silver last year. 3 medals in Lyon at the World Championships, including silver in the 4. First major championship for Ikazu Noda. Semi-finalist of the 400 meters here in Rio. Raymond Martin. 4 golds in London, a gold in the 4 and the silver in the 1 here so far, and an 8 times world champion, 5 of those coming in Lyon. Enough said. Tomoki Sato, the 3rd Japanese in this final, the 400 meters world champion, bronze in the 15, and here in Rio, silver in the 4. From Spain, currently in Alicante, Santiago Sanz, it's his swan song, about to retire. World champion over 800 and 15 back in 2006. Former world champion in this. He won 4 golds at those 06 championships. Chayakut Nasiri of Thailand, the reigning Asian Games champion over 2 and 4. Christian Torres from Bogota in Colombia. Silver in the 4, bronze in the 2 in the Pan Ams, bronze in the marathon in the World Championships last year. Josh Roberts from the United States. No global medals to his name. Finished 6th in the 400 meters of the Pan Am and 7th in the 400 at the World Championships. And Leonardo Perez Juarez of Mexico. Silver over 800 meters at the Worlds in Lyon, and bronze at London 2012 the year before. So it's a big field of 10 for this final, and Raymond Martin's the man they have to beat. 3 3/4 laps of the track. T52 men's 1500 meters final. It's Perez, Juarez, Roberts, Torres, Kutanasiri, Sykes, Sato, Martin, Noda, Toyoji, and Ian Nabarro. And Raymond Martin is the man to beat, and straight away, the man to overtake. He's only gone about 100 meters, and he said, right, let's go for it. He's the world record holder, 3:29.79, and he's sailed away straight away. In this class, he is in a class of his own, and he's looking to absolutely decimate, destroy the field straight away. In the closing straight, little bit of a movement coming on the outside, which was needed by one of the Japanese, and I think that Sato is doing about 3 laps to go, and Martin's lead is considerable.
Yes, Sato has moved into a clear second, and very early on, Raymond Martin kept up the pressure, and the others were happy to let him go. Has that proven costly? Sato's gone into a clear second and is now in hot pursuit of Raymond Martin, who's just eased off a little bit down the back straight. And as you can see with our head-on shot, Sato is starting to eat into that margin now. There'd be another 50 metres to the next group, and more pressure coming. With in third place moving through is Noda, but as they come towards the turn to complete another lap, it's Raymond Martin in front. Sato from Japan, the 27-year-old who chased Martin in the 400 metres to no avail in what was a thrilling final stages of that race. He is getting ever so closer, and is getting sick of looking at the back of the helmet of Martin, and is now going to move up and sit within a wheelchair length of the leader, and is going to stay off the inside line, and looks as though he may even try and move up on the outside. And then a long gap to the next group as they leave the straight. The next group is a group of 6, and then a couple of others detached. But now Sato takes on Martin as they go down the back section.
A lap and a half to go in this men's 1500 meters T52 final. Sato has taken up the story in the front with Martin in second place, and that's interesting that Martin has let him go. 3 Americans in the final, 3 from Japan. The main move at the moment is for third place, but at the front it's Sato. You see that little wheel out in lane 2. Not enough room really for Martin to make a great break on the inside. Happy to stay in the slipstream for now and let Tomoki Sato do all the legwork. He is the 400 meters world champion in Martin's absence in that race. Last year at the World Championships 11 months ago, Sato takes the bell, Martin out in front. It's another of the Americans who's coming through in third place. It looks to be Roberts as they take the bell, but they're about a quarter of a lap behind. It's Sato taking up the story, ahead of Raymond Martin in the final of this men's 1500 meters T52. Martin, just like Kerwa did in the 5,000 meters T13, staying right behind Sato all the time, waiting for the right time to overtake, and the right time is coming now. Raymond Martin's going for it, overtaking Tomoki Sato. Does the Japanese have anything left in his first Paralympic Games? It's Raymond Martin who hits the closing straight, the 4-time Paralympic champion in London, and Martin is going to take the 1500 meters crown. It's his second gold here. Sato gets the silver. 3:40.64 is a new Paralympic record. It's a real race towards the line. I think it's a Japanese race, actually, between Noda and Ian Nabarro. And it was just taken on the inside in the end. But Raymond Martin wins at 3:40.63. A marvelous Paralympic record. And Sato did everything he could, but in the end was left disappointed, if you can be, with a silver. Kutanasiri has got the bronze medal, but the gold goes to Martin ahead of Sato.
And here is coming down the straight Josh Roberts, and he is going to complete the course exhausted, but the crowd willing him over the line, and he's going to get there at the end of this 1500 meters. Great race for third, Kutanasiri and Ian Nabarro fighting that out, and you can see there delighted. He's just got the verdict on the line. Bachaya Kudanasiri from Thailand, the 28-year-old, but it was all about this man again. In what was a fascinating duel, and full credit to Tomoki Sato for taking it to him after 2 laps. Perez Juarez was in that main group for a long time. He led that main group for some time, and whilst that was happening, there were moves coming. Sands was a prospect for a bronze at one point, and then it was Karat Nasiri and Aina Baru who paired off. And in the straight, it was too good. Raymond Martin, who adds to the collection now.
His 6th all-time Paralympic title, his 14th global gold. It's his 15th global medal. That lone silver in the 100 meters when he was overtaken by Ian Otter. And just the point about Josh Roberts there, he's never competed in a championship race above 400 meters. And I mean, the T52s, they're the second most impaired wheelchair racing category. Anyway, Raymond Martin, magnificent overtaking maneuver on the final bend and in the closing straight, running clear of Tomoki Sato. 1500 meters distances and the marathon, you can just imagine the strain on these athletes more than anything else, and the delight for Raymond Martin. There's just that little bit of peril for him now that he was beaten in the 100 meters, and he almost was in this 1500. And I think from time to time, we all take the great champions for granted, that they'll go out and they'll win without considering the quality of the rest of the field, and it is quality. And Sato really ran him tight here, the 400 meters world champion. So Raymond Martin takes the honours. The men's 1500 meters T52 title is his, a Paralympic record, 3:40.63. Sato the silver for Japan, and Kuratanasiri another wheelchair racing bronze for Thailand. Inabaru, 4th for Japan. Three field finals today. Women's discus throw F27 underway. We've the women's long jump T20, that's the intellectual category, and the men's javelin throw F38 later in the day as well. Very well earned silver medal for Tomoki Sato. And obviously he was beaten in the sprint, but it's his first Paralympic Games, and he has 2 silver medals to bring home to Japan. Speaking to Italian television, Raymond Martin. A terrific athlete in his own right. He too based in Illinois, in Champaign, at the University of Illinois, but originally from Jersey City, New Jersey, directly across from New York. The first male para-athlete to win 5 gold medals at a single event. Got there a few hours ahead of Marcel Hug. His father, Daniel Martin, is one of the organizers of the North Jersey Navigators, a team of para-athletes based in Bayonne, New Jersey. Dan Martin, actually also the name of a very, very good cyclist.
Women's long jump T20 final. And we have 9 here in this field. And you can see the benchmarks there. The world record, Karolina Kuchacik with 6 meters 9, and also the Paralympic record. And the defending champion is here again, the 25-year-old. And only competing in the long jump. She's also the world champion. Her distance was 5 meters 67 there in the blazing heat in Doha. She was also the world champion in Lyon and got close in Christchurch. So she really has dominated this category in this particular discipline. She's also featured in a documentary about Olympians in Poland. So she's one of their familiar faces, and they'll be watching closely in Poland to see if she can do it all over again. This is the field. That is Siti Ismail from Malaysia on the left of your screen. She is the first in the order here to jump. A winner of this event in Korea at the Asian Games in Incheon, 22 years of age. So the Asian champion, Siti Ismail. Next to her, Achilles Gonzalez, 21 years of age, also competing in the 400 metres in this category. Finished outside the top 10 at the World Championships, but was a bronze medalist at the Paralympic Games. Erika Gomez from Portugal receiving a strong round of applause, the 22-year-olds. And the reigning silver medalist in triple jump from Doha, Muhammad Arifin from Malaysia. Finished just outside the medals in the 400 metres here. Ana Felipe from Portugal, one of the youngest in the field at 17 years of age, placed in the triple jump in Doha. Mikela Rostowski from Croatia, 26 years of age, and is the reigning bronze medalist at the Paralympics. Was world champion back 5 years ago in Christchurch. And here is Karolina Kurczyk, the 25-year-old from Poland, the reigning Paralympic champion with a leap of 6 metres, can go further, setting the world record of 6:09. She looks strong again. And rounding out the field, last but certainly not least, Paraska Kasontas, the 22-year-old from Hungary, finished 6th in the 400 metres final and did finish top 8 in this event at the World Championships. So quite versatile, Paraska Kasontas from Hungary. So that is the field, with also Elena Rodztabudko, you saw there, from the Ukraine, 27 years of age, only completing in the long jump here, and was 3rd at the World Championships and will be also a force. But it will be the Polish athlete going in as favourite, with the 9 athletes doing battle. And the big thumbs up from the official, so all is in readiness to get underway over on the back straight side of the Olympic Stadium. T20 classification, and it'll be first of all Ismail from Malaysia, who we've got on the runway now. The Asian champion, 5 metres 10 was her leap to take that title. It's going to be less than that here, first attempt at Paralympics. It's a white flag, so it's legal.
We really have been spoiled in the long jump competition so far. Another world record yesterday. Actually, 3 of them in the one long jump competition. 3 times the lead changed hands, and it needed world records on each occasion. And Nicholas Gonzalez, we've seen in quite a number of competitions here, a quite competent sprinter in her own right. T20 category in terms of para sport. Suspended for 10 years after the Sydney 2000 Games, but brought back for the World Championships 2011 in Christchurch. She's one of the athletes who's benefited from that. She's from Cumana in Venezuela. She actually won bronze in the Para Pan Ams in Toronto in 2015. Second here with a 4:39.
Mez from Portugal, the runner-up at the World Championships in the triple jump. Made her debut for her country in 2012 in an event in Turkey. Ricardo Montero, her personal coach. About to take to the runway in the biggest championships in her life to date. And the best she's jumped this season, 4.89, that'll rival it. Her personal best is just under 5 meters, so she looks as though she's in that sort of form. The errant right arm, a bit of a problem. And it was 4.67. 4.67 for Gomez, so it looks as though she just has to work a little bit more on that technique, just diving with that right arm, and also we know she can get up around the 4.89, so you'd be expecting improvement with plenty more water to flow under the bridge. Here is Muhammad Arifin from Malaysia. Now, fourth in the women's 400 meters. She really did perform bravely there, setting a cracking speed. She was there to be pursued, so she's got great pace on the runway. Her best to date this season, 4.92. That'll be close to it. She can get up around the 5.15 mark, and she comes into this event as the runner-up in the Asian Championships with a leap of 5.05. So a pretty consistent long jumper. And 4.89 from the first four athletes puts her in front at this point. Felipe from Portugal, 17 years of age, showing plenty of exuberance. Bronze medalist in the World Championships in the triple jump, a top 10 finish in the long jump at the Worlds. Joanna Costa will have some words to say to her after that first attempt. Almost just a bit of a look at the sand, really. She'll be recording better jumps than that through the competition, you would hope. At this stage, Carolina Kurchacik watching all of this unfold without a care in the world, going in as the short-priced favourite. Men's Javelin, F38 Final is the next event we'll concentrate on for a moment.
Storoshenko of Ukraine is in this, and he's the world record holder from Athens in 2004. Olympic Park there still in very good nick. 9 go in this in total, including Cody Jones from the United States, who finished 5th in this in Doha. We have a chance to see all the field then. He's from Simi Valley in California, still based in his hometown. He's a 44.83 thrower, alongside Dusan Gressel from the Czech Republic. Bronze in the shot in Athens, twice a shot medalist, his strongest event. Australia, in Canberra he's based now, Jaden Sawyer, bronze in this in Lyon in 2013 and 4th in Doha. Petr Vratl from the Czech Republic, regularly a high finisher along with Gressel in the European Championships, silver in Lille at the Worlds, and 3 other bronzes, including Doha. Javadavani from Iran is the 3 in a row chasing discus world champion, Paralympic champion should I say. There's Haman of South Africa, the reigning world champion from Doha and Rio. Here's Doroshenko, very much a man to beat. Did a big double in Athens in the discus and the shot, and he's a 5 times world champion across the shot and the discus. Chemi Villegas of Colombia, 18 years old, his first major championship debut, and An Dongguan from China, likewise. Good fielder. Doroshenko still a firm contender, but in terms of the javelin, silver in Doha, bronze in 06, his best effort since that double Paralympic Games gold in 04.
So Jones only competing here in the javelin, finished 5th at the World Championships. And sends the first javelin on its way for the competition. He's got it over the 40-metre mark, only just. He can get it to around the 42 mark this season and has got towards 45 metres at his absolute pinnacle. So interesting to get a guide as to what he's thrown here, as he anxiously waits. No measurement as yet. There isn't anything indicated on the boards either. So we all wait for what Cody Jones has thrown. The officials getting the measurement system sorted out. But we're going to move on. We'll bring you that result in a moment. This is the women's shot put F34 victory ceremony from the event conducted on day 7 of the Paralympic Games.
Very significant result for Jessica Hamill, based at the Paralympic Sense base in Dunedin. She's originally from Invercargill. It's her first Paralympic Games medal. Silvers in 2 World Championships and a Commonwealth Games, all in the shot. It's her first bronze. And it's the first on the greater stage. 7 meters 54 she threw. It's F34. So it's the strongest of the seated cerebral palsy category. She gets a bronze medal. Very happy with her bronze, Tom, as well. European champion, Ingrid Seto. She's from Wrocław, also a sitting volleyball international. Never won a medal at a Paralympic Games previously. A couple of silvers at World Championships in the javelin, plus a bronze in Doha in the shot, and this a nice upgrade for her on that. Silver for Poland for Lucina Kanobis. Zhu had already won the javelin here, and it completes the full set of doubles for her in the javelin and the shot. Asian Games in Incheon in 2014, the World Championships in Doha in 2015, and now Rio de Janeiro at the Paralympic Games. China's successful schedule continues. 18 gold medals, 42 in all, more than anyone else. Somehow they haven't worn out the tape of this yet. Zhu Lijuan of China, who had made herself very much known, particularly during that World Championships last October at the Saad bin Salami Stadium. Let's get back to the long jump. Rostowski is going for Croatia. Close to her lifetime best this year. She went out to 5.68. That would be very useful indeed, you'd suspect, for her. Certainly it's a solid 5-meter effort.
Reigning bronze medalist in Paralympic Games. And that is the best leap we've seen from our coverage so far.
She's the triple jump world champion and silver in the long jump last year. So she is in firm form, 5 meters 06, and she is our early leader. And from one long jump to another.
T47 category victory ceremony of the men's long jump. A big field starting in this, 15 athletes, and this was a terrific competition. Wang there from China. Really did challenge the American, who had a little bit left in reserve, Mr. Ronaldo and Kachara. And to be assisted by Mr. Donovan Ferretti. Well, it was a competitive competition, a high standard set. And Anu Asumani, a leap of 7 meters 11, crept up the list, crept up the order, and in the end, the bronze medalist. And this was a terrific display by Wang Hao, who set a Paralympic record and held it for about 3 minutes. It was 7 meters 30. But he set the crowd alight. It was so entertaining to watch in the evening session. The celebration was something to behold when he realized he'd leapt that far. I think he even surprised himself. Deserved silver medal. Silver-haired Tom. Wang Hao from China, a brilliant silver medal. And the Paralympic champion, who then came out and threw even, or jumped even further, Roderick Townsend Roberts with 7 meters 41, another Paralympic record. I mentioned the standard was high. Thumbs up to the camera. He responded like champions do, with a magnificent leap, and takes the gold medal. So gold to the USA, silver China, bronze France, and now the national anthem. It's a real championship performance, that one. Roderick Townsend Roberts, the gold medalist in the men's long jump T47.
Three field finals on. We're going to the men's javelin, and this is Jaden Sawyer. 48.55 as lifetime best set this year. This is the F38 category, which is the least impaired of the cerebral palsy standing throwing events. Sawyer getting it out a good distance. It's gone beyond 40 meters. He's based in Canberra. That's where the Australian Institute of Sport is centred, although it's been a little bit decentralised. I can tell you, by the way, Sato of Japan was disqualified in that men's 1500 meters final. That news is just coming through now. Sato had won the silver. More about that during the medal presentation. That was a really good throw by Sawyer. Puts him up into the medals. Here's Hadani now for a run. Well, he's a candidate, there's no doubt about that, considering his past successes. And that's sailed well out beyond 40 meters.
It'll be better than anything he's thrown this year. 44.9 for Javed Hadani. Good way to start the competition. We know he can throw about 1.5 meters more. Reinhard Hamann from South Africa, 26 years of age. He can get over the 50 mark. What can he do to blow out the cobwebs here with... Oh, that is getting it out there. That'll be around the 50 mark. He is the world champion in this F38 classification. In fact, he's won the last 2 world championships in this event. He was also placed in the shot put in Doha. He's a big man with a big arm on him. 49.31 the throw. So that's a good start to the competition. It puts him in front. Puts him in front by about 4.5 metres. So the others have got plenty of work to do if they're going to catch him.
Long jump heating up also in the T20s, and we go back to the silver medalist from the World Championships, the former European champion, Michaela Rostowski, and the only woman who's beaten her in the last 4 major championships, Karolina Kucharczyk of Poland. It'll be a great joust between these two. It's beyond 5 meters again. Great technique from the Croat. Rostowski and Kucharczyk, the top two after the opening round. Rostowski 5.06, Kucharczyk 5.07. Very little between them. That was much better, and she knew it. The 2014 European champion, the 2011 world champion, and our leader here, 5 meters 40. The reigning European, world and Paralympic champion, Karolina Kucharczyk of Poland. And that's equally impressive. Again, that's gone out to around 5.5. Kucharczyk, the world record holder from the World Championships in Lyon. That was a 6.09. 6 meters dead was a previous world record in London in winning that, and see how close she was to the plasticine. She just about got there. She looks to have bettered Rostowski, but by how much? A significant amount, 5.55, and Kucharczyk is our leader. Well, a fine standard being set already. Women's 400 meters, T12 opening round. Only the winner from each heat guaranteed to go through. In the middle heats of the 3, the world record holder and the reigning Pan American world and Paralympic champion. But in this we have the European champion from Spain, based in Madrid, Melanie Berges-Gamez. It being T12, guides are optional. Also features the silver medalist from the 1500 meters, Naja Chiwaya. This is Berges-Gamez, that gold in Grosseto back in June. The best result of her international career, and her guide, Sergio Sanchez Palanzar. In lane 5 for Mexico, Daniela Velasco Maldonado disqualified in the 1500 meters here, but the reigning Pan American 800 meters champion, silver in the 4. She's from Mexico City, bronze in the 4 in London. And on the inside in lane 3 for Tunisia, Naja Chiwaya. It's been a very good game for Tunisia so far, and she has helped. Silver in the 1500 meters. Out of major international competition for a decade, was 4th in the 400 in Assen in the Netherlands at the World Championships in 2006. Chiwaya unguided. Velasco Maldonado has Gabriel Urbina Lenore alongside. Only the winner guaranteed to go through, and then the next fastest of the 3 runners-up. Chiwaya in 3, Velasco Maldonado 5, and Berges-Gamez in lane 7. Held extra long for the lights to adjust, but we're underway now. Solid start out of 7 by the European champion, and look at Chiwaya go in lane 3. Well, she has the staying power. She used to be a sprinter. She finished 6th in the 200 meters in those 06 games, where she finished just outside the medals at 400. Now Berges-Gamez beginning to go for Spain. Bronze in the 4x1 in the World Championships in Doha last year, but she finished 6th outside the final in the 400 meters. She's come very good in the second quarter of this race. Chiwaya with the marvellous start in the Tunisian white. But as they straighten up into the closing straight, it's Berges-Gamez for Spain. Very much unchallenged at the moment. Sanchez Palanzaro guide has brought her through this very well. It's going to be a decent, solid winning time. She might just beat her lifetime best of 58.09. Berges-Gamez will win that 57.52 with Chiwaya in second place. and Velasco Maldonado in third, and instantly eliminated. Lifetime best it is by half a second. Melanie Begas-Gamez really can't ask much more than what she's achieved, and she is into the final. Tougher competition to follow. Shuaya in second place, lifetime best as well, 59.40. But as they came down the closing straight, there was nobody really going to deny the Spaniard. Solid and smooth, and a finalist.
A strong back straight from Shuaya. I thought she was going to be a contender, but Gamez has responded. She knew she had to respond, and in the end put pay to them really well. Impressive. 57.52 automatically qualifies, and as a result, Shuaya has to sit and wait with the... Well, there's not a lot of room to move here at all, because first go through, and with the guides involved here, only a field of 4 in the final, so the next fastest goes through. Here's Ismail in the long jump, women's long jump T20 final.
Asian Games champion she is. Makes her a prime contender in this, as she is just explaining with a good 5-meter effort, solid. 5:10 her lifetime best. Mohammed Arifin, 5:15, the Asian record, who's also competing in this. Mohammed Arifin has gone out to around 4:91. That's a new Asian record, 5 meters 20, and she goes third.
Now the javelin. This is the men's javelin F38 final, and we've already seen a great throw from Haman from South Africa. And that's not a bad performance. From Lukumi Villegas from Colombia. That's getting out there. The mark to beat at the moment, 49.31. I tell you what, that's put him into second position. So he could be a threat, 47.71. Second position after 2 throws for Fernando Lukumi Villegas from Colombia.
Rostowski of Croatia in the long jump. T20. What a battle between her and Kuharczyk so far. A brilliant second round attempt. 5:55, and look at that from Rostowski. Well, that's really knocking on the door. Well, these two are pushing each other to great lengths. Rostowski sailing out. She's gone out to 5:68 this year, 5:71 lifetime best, and she's just going further and further each round. She absolutely loves that, and with good reason. Only a centimetre down on Kuharczyk, but a main reason for parting may come later. Kuharczyk now in the third round at 5:55. She's seen her lead cut to a mere centimetre, but Kuharczyk still leads. Really brilliant pace. Didn't use the board an awful lot. Board is 20 centimetres, might have given 15 away, and less satisfaction for the pole. Barely clipped the board at all, really. 5:55 in round 2. But splendid technique. She knows she can go further. 5:35 in round 3. Acknowledgement from her coach about what needs to be done.
Women's 400 metres T12 classification, second heat in this first round. First goes through automatically, and then it's the next fastest. So in total, we have 10 athletes in these heats, and we only need 4 in the final. And we see the gold medalist in the 100 and the 200 meters here, Amara Duran from Cuba. So strong, powering to the line in the 200 meters. It was such an impressive display. Can she do a big treble here? Amara Duran, 25 years of age. Here's Elena Shabanu from Azerbaijan. Place getter in the 100 and 200 at the Parapan Championships. And finally, Liz Villarreal from Venezuela, competing in the 100, the 200 and the 400 in this classification at these Paralympic Games. So field of three. Durand is the world record holder, 53.05 set at the World Championships. Shabanu underneath of her in lane 5. Second in the 100 here, third in the 200 here. And silver in the long jump, so she's taking home some silverware. Interesting little clash between these two athletes in the second heat. Shabanu's guide, Hakim Ibrahimov from Azerbaijan. So away they go. Durand on the outside and also Shabanu in the centre, both off to clean starts. And both athletes holding their stagger at the moment as they head into the back straight in this second heat. If anything, Shabanu is picking up some ground on Durand. This is going to be a good battle. So we have the gold medalist in the 100 and the 200 left of picture. And in the middle, chasing hard, is Shabanu, who was runner-up in the 100 and third in the 200. But the 400's a different story. A little bit more endurance required here and sustained speed. Coming around the turn with 100 metres to go. It's Durand on the outside. Shabanu looks as though she shot her bolt. And Durand's going to power away again with 50 metres to go. She's, 25 metres in front and is coming clear and is going to win this really well. Durand impressive again. 53.05 is the world record. She smashes it in her heat. 52.91. Shabanu second. Villarreal third. And you can't make a bigger statement in a heat than that. Breaking your world record, your own world record by some distance. Surely goes into the final as the one to beat here after two heats.
Absolutely magnificent by Amara Duran. She breaks her own world record that she set in winning the world title in Doha last year. Winning the 1 and the 2 here, a world record in the 100. Now a world record in the heats in the 400. And it's funny because with around 50 minutes to go, it didn't look as if she was going full belt. But I kept looking at the clock and thinking she could still get under 53. And she did. I mean, just look at the pace. It's a good, smooth rhythm. And advice coming from the guy, Kindelan, all the time. I think he was counting through 50, 51, 52. 52.90 it's been rounded down to, and a European record as well in second place for Shabanu, around 3.5 seconds down. But she's a magnificent athlete, Duran. Great champion. 3 in a row at the Worlds in Doha, and then again in Toronto at the Pan Ams, and then the realization she's gone under 53. I don't think she realized, Matt, she was going that well. Magnificent.
Oh, there's no doubt about that, and I love the reaction from the guide as well. Uni Kindelan saying, yep, you're the champion, you're the world record holder again. 52.9, what a great display. 32 degrees trackside now in the stadium as we move to the Javelin. This is men's Javelin F38 final. And shaping up to be a very interesting competition. Haman set the early pace, 49.31 was his throw, head and shoulders above anybody else. But Villegas from Colombia has really put some pressure on as we work our way through the third round of throws. And currently we are watching Javad Hadani from Iran. That's a good effort, trying to improve on 44.9 from the first round, which was his season's best. His personal best is 46.28, and he has thrown 1.5 meters better than that, so he'd be delighted. Javad Hadani That is a record for his region and also has put himself into the bronze medal place. Now here is the South African, Reinhard Hamann. Can he respond and better his earlier throw of 44.9? Of Hadani's, yes, he was 49.31 in the first round. Has he been able to better that? Yes, indeed, 49.63, 49.63, Reinhard Hamann. So he holds his place in first, but all of a sudden a couple of challenges have appeared from Vallejos from Colombia and Hadani from Iran. That's shaping up to be a fascinating final 3 rounds in the men's javelin. As we move back to the women's long jump on the far side, T20 final. Gomez on screen, Erica Gomez from Portugal, the 22-year-old. This is her first attempt 467. Failed in her second round, 453. At the moment, sitting in 6th position. She has Rodzda Budko from the Ukraine ahead of her at the moment in 5th. It looks as though she will be around that 453 mark, maybe a little bit less. So just losing a little bit of power midway through the competition. .456, so around the same mark, and continues to fight on in 6th position as we move back to the track. This is heat 3 of the T12 classified women's 400 metres, this time a field of 4.
Features the European champion from Ukraine, Oksana Batorchuk, in lane 7. The Asian Games 200 metres champion, silver in the one that year. She was 5th in the 400 final. And that's Shen Yakin along with the guide, Li Yan. Semi-finalists here in the 100 metres. Bronze in the 4 of the World Championships. That's Edmilson Governo of Mozambique. Lane 3, representing Spain. Bronze in the 1500 metres here, 4th in the 4x1, and silver over 400 and 1500 metres of the European Championships in Gracetta, Iraskan Uzis Ayuka. And here's the reigning European champion. 3-timer in Swansea over the 1, the 2 and the 4. Silver in the 2 here, disqualified in the 100 metres. And a former Paralympic champion over 100, Oksana Batorchuk of Ukraine. So again, it's only the winner who's guaranteed to go through. Will need to be a European record, or beat the European record, in order to progress as the fastest loser. We've had the world record smashed by Amara Duran in the previous heats. Batorchuk in 1, Uzis Ayuka in 3, Governo in 5, Shen Yakin in lane 7. Oh, false start, and it's Shen in lane 7. Well, eliminated in the first round of the 100 metres, and I'm afraid she's going to be eliminated here. Pretty much an open and shut case. It went way off, and it was Shen herself. But she has got gold here in the women's 4x100 metres relay, so she does have something to go home with to Suzhou. The official with the cards, a long way away. There we go, there's the red. And Shen Yakin with the false start. Relay gold. She did get 2 medals in showed a couple of years ago at the Asian Games, but I'm afraid out of the 400 metres. Full start. So Batorchuk in 1, Oses Ayuka in 3 and Governo in lane 5. Only the winner goes through for certain. And they're away. Solid start from Oses Ayuka, the silver medalist in the European Championships, and Batorchuk going flying away very well on the inside in lane 1 alongside a guide, Vladimir Burakov. Governo has picked up a lot of room in lane 5. Oses Ayuka, you'll see, has fallen back quite a bit, but might have a bit in reserve for the second half of this race. Looks like it's Governo who has the slight advantage over Batorchuk, but she's shown a class down through the years. The double world champion in the Netherlands in 2006 over 100 and 200, and she was disqualified in the 4 to deny her the clean sweep, the hat-trick. Batorchuk is out in front. Governo in second place. Governo beginning to fight back a little bit. The new world record, 52.90. Batorchuk will take it. 54.47. I make that a new European record. She's through to the final. And Governo did well for second. Might just make it as well. But very good pacing by Batorchuk. 54.47. It goes down as a PB. It's an African record for Governo. 54.94 for Mozambique. And Oses Ayuka in third place.
Well, it's going to be a different feel for her in the final. 54.47. She's paced that one out and has left a little bit in reserve, I get the impression. Even though her guide, Burakov, looks like he's struggling a bit more than she is as he pulls back here and just lets her cruise through the line. 54.47, there's room for improvement, but you can see her just counting the strides and has done enough there to go straight through to the final. Burakov through in 54.47. Governo will go through as well. And even Governo, even though she was finishing in second place, didn't look like she was overly knocking herself about in the straight either. And this is the way the final will shape up. Should be hard to beat again. Duran, that world record, 52.9 now in the books. Men's javelin. And we return to our next athlete to throw, and that will be Lukumi Villahas from Colombia. He has thrown the second best so far, 49.19. 49.19, and there it is. That is starting to rival Haman's best throw of 4. The young Colombian, the 18-year-old, is now throwing out a challenge. 49.19. We'll be watching this with interest. He's thrown his personal best, incidentally, by almost more than 5 meters. So putting in a big performance as we move to the victory ceremony of the men's 5,000 meters T13, and of course 5,000 meters. Surely it was Kenya.
Yes, it was the first final on the track this morning. And the last 2 Paralympic champions jousting for the gold medal in the end. High quality race. Medals really, at least who the medalists would be, decided very, very early on in the race. The order became apparent on the final bend. had a very good challenge, Bilal Aloui. 6th of the 1500 metres and a bronze here. His first major championship, the 26-year-old for Tunisia. 5th most successful athletics nation at these Paralympic Games. Their 15th medal, 5 of them have been gold. Only Brazil, the United States, Great Britain and China have won more titles than Tunisia here. Germany have won the same. Shentouf, who won the 5,000, the 10,000 and the marathon at the World Championships in Lyon 3 years ago. Took this 5,000 metres in London 2012. It was a great example of front running, and he did the same here. Unfortunately for him, that man behind him was behind him for 4,950 metres, but not the full 5,000. Silver for Morocco, for El Amin Shentouf. He was one of the 1,500 metres medalists who ran faster than the Olympic champion. Bronze in the 15. And now 8 years after doing the treble in Beijing over the 15, the 5 and the 10, Henry Kirwa of Kenya is the Paralympic champion again over 5,000 metres.
Here you are. Good done. Thank you.
14 minutes, 17.32 seconds, taking 46 seconds off his lifetime best. It's Kirwa, it's Kenya. As anthems go, Imungo and Gebu Yetu is one of the more regal ones. We hear it so often when it comes to middle and long distance running. Kirwa with the gold for Kenya, Shentouf the silver for Morocco, and bronze going to Aloui of Tunisia. As we go back to what's turning out to be quite an exciting long jump competition, and this is one of the women making it very exciting. Michaela Ristowski of Croatia, 5:54, 1 centimetre behind our leader from Poland, Karolina Kucharczyk. Two athletes who know each other so well, who've battled on and on and on, and Ristowski's pulled out a big one. 5:54, in round 3. Kuharczyk, 5:55, and she couldn't have used that board any better. It's a super attempt by the Croat. And now she knows how good it is. 5 meters 67, and Radowski is in the lead.
Next medal ceremony, men's 1500 meters, T52. We started off the session with distance racing, and they clashed again after clashing in the 400 meters here. Raymond Martin adding to his stack of Paralympic medals. Tomoki Sato, the 400 meter world champion. Our winner, Raymond Martin, now with 2 gold medals after winning the 400 and the 1500 meters, and silver medalist in the 100 meters. So competing in 3 events here. It's Jenny Hammershoy assisting with the presentation once again. But in a tactical race, as they always are. No surprise to see Thailand on the podium. Kashaya Ratnasiri finishing 5th in the 400 meters here. Silver medal. It was a real hard-fought silver medal too. He had one of the Japanese athletes coming at him in the home straight, but a silver medal. Sorry, a bronze medal. That's to match his bronze in the 400 meters in Doha. He is the Asian champion in the 200 and the 400. So, bronze medal to Thailand. Kashaya Ratnasiri. Tomoki Sato, 27 years of age, from Japan. He'll be one of the faces to promote the Paralympics in Tokyo, I'm sure. Silver medalist in the 400 and now the 1500 meters. He's had a good Paralympic campaign. He's the world champion in the 400 meters. From Okayama. And it wouldn't be complete without the silver top Tom. Getting the congratulations, and there's a satisfied look. Tomoki Sato has had a terrific games, and knowing full well that he's chasing a real champion. Paralympic record today of 3:40.63. He has gone almost 11 seconds faster. He is such a star. So 2 gold medals here in the 400 and the 1500. Adding to his haul, Paralympic champion leading into this in the 100, 200, 400, 800. He's the world champion in the 100 and the 1500. And he capitalizes on the longer distance race here with a Paralympic gold as well.
Very good.
So I suppose you could say a champion at the peak of his powers, Raymond Martin from the USA. And if they haven't worn out the Chinese national anthem, they've just about done it with the USA as well. legend that is Raymond Martin. An extraordinary resume already, and he's only 22 years of age, the man born in Jersey. It is gold to the USA, silver Japan, and bronze for Thailand. In a star-studded 1500-metre final as we return to the javelin. Men's javelin F38 final. Oman leading, but Colombia and Iran coming at the South African. An Dongquan from China, 29 years of age. Now 2 fouls, first 2 rounds. And he gets somewhere up near the medals. He needs to be around the 49 mark if he is to do it. Puts everything into it. Certainly heading in that direction. It might not be 49 metres, but it's going to be quite a good throw. .47.9 in the 4th round. Puts him up into bronze medal calculations indeed. Here is the South African. Reinhard Hamann. Oh, that's getting out there as well. He has already thrown 49.63. Has he been able to better that? He can get to the 50-metre mark. We've seen that this season. At the moment, he's leading the field of merry dance in the javelin. That's a terrific throw. I think that's the best we've seen. And he knows it. 49.87. 49.87. The benchmark is from Doroshenko, 51.37, Paralympic and world record set in Athens. But Hamann leads as we head to the long jump.
It has been enthralling so far, this T20. Mainly thanks to the efforts of Ritoski and Kuhacik. This is Siti Mohamed Arifin. Silver in the long jump of the Asian Games. She's the reigning Asian Games 400 metres champion. She was out of the sport for 8 years. What an excellent return to it for her. 4 metres 91 or so far. Has to improve by 30 centimetres to beat her compatriot Ismail with that Asian record of 5:20, and it's around the 5-metre mark. But I'm not sure she's been able to pull it off, really. It's great to see her back. She finished 4th in the 400 metres here, and just that little trailing foot that went down. And she gave it a solid effort, but I'm just not sure that's going to do it for her. And it is 4th place where she's going to remain. So Ismail is in the medals, the Asian Games champion. Five meters 20, the new Asian record set in round 3. And it's, if you like, a lap of honor for her right at the end, and immaterial. For her to achieve obviously what is a lifetime best. Proves that by 10 centimeters. She's actually taken the Asian record off Mohamed Arifin to take the bronze here. Ismail won't have improved. It's 5 meters 09, but she still gets the new Asian record. Well, Malaysia, what an excellent games they're having here. But now we're down to the gold and the silver. Ritoski jumping second last, but she's our leader. 5:67. How far can she go? That's a really good effort, and it's a white flag. And has she increased her lead? 12 centimeters over Kuhacik. Used the board perfectly. Great lift. Heading out closer to 6 meters. Malaysia celebrating the bronze. Ritoski with that 5:67 in round 4, went to 5:50 in round 5. Has she improved even further? Oh, yes, she has. 5:79 is a new lifetime best. The celebrating started already. Kuharczyk appreciative of what her rival has achieved. 5:55, her best of the day. Has to pull out a season's best in order to grab the gold. The last time Kuharczyk didn't take the gold medal, she was beaten by Rogowski back in 2011 in the Worlds in Christchurch. Here she comes. It's a good effort. Is it good enough? I'm not sure it is, and neither is she. A little shake of the Polish head probably tells you all you need to know. Use the board really well. It just doesn't look as if she's been able to match Rogowski today. It's been a great fight between these two. It's silver for Kuharczyk, 5:42 with her final attempt. And it's gold for Croatia and Michaela Rogowski. The first time she's hit a global gold since the 2011 World Championships. She won the European title in 2014. Silver behind Kuharczyk in this year's European Championship. But now, at the Paralympic Games, it's gold. And these two great campaigners have given us some brilliant entertainment today. And don't they well know it?
Plenty of action on the track in the next 30 minutes or so. Starting off with the men's 400-metre T44 Final. A race won by Oscar Pistorius. In past versions of the Paralympic Games, this is the start list. We see some youth towards the inside. The 17-year-old from the USA, Hunter Woodall. 22-year-old Liam Malone from New Zealand, winner of the 200 metres here at the Rio Paralympic Games in lane number 4. This is Aj Rigby, who is in the T43 classification, qualified in a time of 48.9, 18 years of age, 5th in this event in Doha, has already competed in Paris swimming and American football in his career to date. From Sri Lanka, this is Kumar Hetirachi from Sri Lanka. Personal best of 55.89 would see him out of the medals here. David Berra was impressive in his heat. 3rd in the 200 metres here in Rio. He's already won a gold medal in the 4x100 relay, adding to his bronze in the 4x100 in London. Nick Rogers from the States, 20 years of age. 49.45 personal best would see him mix for a bronze, you would think. Here is the 200 champion, Liam Malone. Silver medalist in the 100 here as well, was a junior Paralympian at the age of 14. Hunter Woodall. Runner-up in the 200 metres here, won the relay but got disqualified. Runner-up in this event at the World Championships. This is Kyo Win from Myanmar. 55.9 was his qualifying time. And the field to be rounded out by Siyidis from Greece in the inside lane. .49.81 was his qualification time. That was in the T44 category, so that was a class record. He may try and break that again from the inside lane. So main hopes in the middle, Woodall, Malone and Berra in 6 for Germany. And then in that T44 classification, Siyidis will be hard to beat in that group on the inside. But in the race overall, Woodall, Malone, Berra look the main chances. Men's 400 T44 final. 32 degrees trackside at the moment. Lovely conditions. Set and away. Woodhall got a pretty good start, so too Malone in lane number 7. It is Hodiarachi, who is away only fairly, being passed now by Malone and also Rogers in lane 5. Digby got a good start in lane number 8. Heads down the back of the 250 with a little bit of a margin at this stage, but Berra is showing plenty of pace in lane number 6, and Malone is coming through as well as they run off the back section. So it's Digby, but they're eating into the stagger now. Berra comes through with Malone and Woodhall, so the 3 chances are right up there, inside to outside of the 100. Woodhall moves up to Malone, who has to respond, then Berra the outside. 70 to go. Woodhall, now Malone digs in, looks for the double, moves up, takes Woodhall. Berra's powering home. Malone in front. Berra's a danger. Malone, Berra dives at him. Oh, it's tight. Tight Paralympic record, 46.21. It might be Malone, but it's a photo finish. Malone throws himself down after the line. He's thrown everything into it. He's done the double, I'd suggest. The 200, 400. What a race. Berra came at him. Bronze medal to Woodhall. Malone gets there. 46.2 Paralympic record. Berra, 46.23. European record, second place. And then it was a bronze to Hunter Woodhall, adding to his silver medal in the 200 metres. How exciting was that? The 3 chances that we mentioned before the race, from right to left, were right there in the hunt. And at every stage up the straight, it looked like we'd have a different winner.
What a man Liam Malone is. A brilliant finish. He just held on ahead of David Berra, the reigning world champion. Malone had finished outside the medals in Doha, but this, his second title, and Woodhall trying to run them both down, coming through in 3rd place. The top 6 have all run lifetime bests. Paralympic record. I make it 4 continental records as well along the way, but Malone winning the most important battle of them all. He's been a great campaigner, entertainer, warrior all the way through. Woodhall just had the nod by this stage. Then Malone fighting back. The result that saw him win the gold in the 200 metres. But then look at Berra come out of 3rd place with Germany, running Malone down and just being pipped on the line. They both did for it. 300ths of a second between them. And in the end, Woodhall won out of it in 3rd place. Malone with a new Paralympic and Oceanic record. Berra with a European record in 46.23. Woodhall looked as if he might have made it by this stage, but Malone wore him down. Woodhall has had some races in this closing straight. Then it became the 2-horse race involving the German, and Berra, who took the title in Doha, the European champion in 2014. And Malone, he's shown some absolute pure guts in this championship. 2 golds and a silver behind Johnny Peacock in the 100. And this is a man, this could be a brilliant 3-way battle that we're going to see year after year after year. But Malone had enough to hold on the line.
And honourable mention as well to Mikhail Tsiidis from Greece. In the battle of the T44 classification, he's broken his own world record again, 49.66. So a high calibre men's 400 final. And look at that. That is just so lovely to see. Malone going over to Hunter Woodhall, who has been all smiles to his credit throughout the campaign, but he looks a bit disappointed today after winning a gold medal in the relay, and that was taken off him because of disqualification from the team, and then being the runner-up earlier on in the campaign in the 200 metres, throwing everything into the 400 metres and taking away a bronze medal. So in the end, after so much hard work and being so high-spirited, won't take a gold away from Rio. Thrilling stuff, the men's 400. Back to the javelin. Javed Hadani currently sitting in 4th place.
So Hadani going for it, trying to get himself back into the medals. He's won gold in the last 2 Paralympic Games, albeit in the discus. He's gone for this one. It's heading out towards the world record mark. Javelin at the moment being led by the double world champion, Reinhard Hamann of South Africa. Hadani doing his level best to keep himself well in the hunt for gold, and he loves that. 48.46, and that is the bronze medal for Iran, for Javed Hadani. Oh, marvellous strike, and look at his delight. It's his first Paralympic medal in the javelin, having previously won 2 golds and a silver in the discus. Silver in the 2011 World Championships. More 400 meters action now, and it comes in the T37. The second least impaired cerebral palsy category. And the quality field going in this. It's the first 3 who'll qualify for the final. We've got the 100 meters champion here from Rio, Charles de Toy. The Pan Am champion, you'll notice, doesn't start Matheus Evangelista of Brazil. This is Wu Jilong in lane 8. Bronze in the 400 meters in the World Championships in Doha. Charles de Toy, a 100 meters champion here. Silver in the Commonwealth Games in 2014 and silver in the 400 at the World Championships in Doha. The national base in Stellenbosch also in this. Mohamed Abdel Talif of Egypt. Paul Keoghan of Screen and County Meath in Ireland. Mariano Dominguez of Argentina. The top 3 to qualify for the final. Abdel Talif in 3. Keoghan in 5, Toy in 6, Dominguez 7, and Wu in 8. Oh, that looks to be a green singlet, but it's not. The 100 meters champion, I think that's Paul Keoghan, who went out ahead of the rest for Ireland. Little stumble on the blocks out of lane 5, head on hands. He was playing for his club in a Gaelic football match, had a very heavy challenge, suffered a brain hemorrhage then. Starts at Para-Athletics as a 100-200 sprinter and has now leapt up to the 4. Won 3 medals at the Cerebral Palsy Games in Nottingham last year. Sorry to say he's off the track in this. Full start. And his Paralympic Games debut. Hard lines, I'm afraid. So we're down to 4. De Toy off well. The 100 meters Paralympic champion out of lane 6 with Dominguez on his outside. Wu is shot away well out of lane 8. Bronze in Doha. Behind De Toy, who got the silver medal. Dominguez now beginning to fight back a little bit for Argentina. They've had a very good games. Abdel Talif was in 4th place, just outside the medals in that World Championship final in Doha for Egypt. Wu has really pushed on in the last 100 in that outside lane for China. He's from Hangzhou, but now De Toy showing a little bit of extra confidence. And look at Abdel Talif move up well for Egypt as they straighten up. It's Abdel Talif, who finished in 4th in Doha, who got the 2nd, 3rd and 4th from Doha, now really moving up very well in the closing straight. And De Toy shows his class. Wu will be in 2nd place, Abdel Talif 3rd, and that's 55.30. De Toy, very, very smooth running from him in the end, and he really didn't need to extend himself anyway much more than that. But very impressive from Abdel Talif as well. Wu also going through the top 3. We originally had a field of 6, but a DNS for Evangelista, and I'm sorry to say Paul Keoghan with the full start also. And there have been quite a few DNSs because athletes have not been getting to the call room in time, and it's something that tightened up majorly in Doha last year. Kadina Cox was the first high-profile victim of that in the 200 meters. But De Toy looking very good, 55.28. Wu in 2nd, Abdel Talif in 3rd.
You said in the call, Will, showing his class, and that was spot on. De Toy, you could see just accelerating in that 50-meter portion up the straight where he had to, and it was a cruise in the end. Had plenty of time to look up at the big screen and really ease right down. Wu Jilong, I just get the impression on the outside that he may have played a bit of cat and mouse up the straight as well, but Dutoy was cruising. Wu keeps a little bit left for the final. But that's just about the easiest heat win we've seen for the entire championships.
Didn't need to put much more into it, really. Charles Dutoy. Well, he's leaving Rio with 1 gold medal. What else will we be leaving with? That was so smooth. 55-28. Trademark smile back. So Dutoy qualifies along with Wu and Abdel Talif and Dominguez. We'll have to wait and see. Paul Kyon and Matthias Evangelista Cardosa will not go through.
We see the gold medalist in the long jump here, Shang Guangzhou, going around in heat number 2 from lane number 4 from China. Also 5th in the 100 metres. Just outside the medals in 4th in London in this event as well, as we see Pereira, who is 30 years of age, 4th in the 400 metres at the Worlds in 2011, reigning Pan American champion. Bertrand from France, 21 years of age, finishing 8th in the long jump here. Only track event he's competing in. Finished 7th in this event at the World Championships back in 2013. On screen is Omar Motorola. What an even field we have. Also in lane at number 6, this man, Hamdi from Algeria, who is a runner-up in the 200 in Beijing as a 19-year-old and 3rd in the 100 metres. Further matured here. And from Brazil, Paulo Pereira. So just outside the medals in this event at the Worlds 5 years ago. Hamdi on screen now, the 27-year-old, looking to turn back the clock from his successes in Beijing. And here is Shang from China. Long jump gold medalist, 5th in the 100. And runner-up here, 200 in Paralympic level, and also long jump world champion. So they get ready. Bertrand in 3 lanes, 3 through to 8 being utilised. First 3 go through, then the next 2 advance. So we're eliminating half of the 12 athletes listed. Now we're only eliminating 4 with a disqualification and a DNS in the first heat. Ready and away. Bertrand from 3 away steadily, very fast away, is Mohammed from Egypt in lane number 7. Going straight to the lead, being chased by Hamdi on the inside, who is starting to get into his lead. And then in the centre, we've got Monterola, who's starting to come through as well for Venezuela. At this stage, Shang and Bertrand look like they're struggling in lanes 4 and 3 respectively, as they come off the back with about 150 metres to go. The leader at this stage is Hamdi, but now Monterola is coming through for Venezuela. At the turn, Monterola has come through, has 1 Paralympic medal next to his name, a 3rd in London in the 200 metres. And he's coming clear here of Hamdi. And then came Mohammed after that fast start from Egypt, looking to qualify. Look at Pereira from Brazil, though. Might upset that. But coming through Monterola. Now, let's have a look. He won't qualify automatically, the Brazilian. Will be a photo finish to decide 2nd and 3rd in that heat. But in the end, it was Omar Motorola, the 29-year-old, and his time is 53.38, a record for his region. Personal best for Mohammed from Egypt, 54.27, has run a terrific race in second position. But ran it very strongly down the back, and that set up that heat win for Omar, and looks to turn back the clock himself with a third in London over the 200 metres, and with more maturity, 400 metres more his cup of tea now. Now you can see Hamdi looking around a little bit, which is a bit of a sign that he was trying to play cat and mouse, but he wasn't expecting Pereira to really charge, and as a result Mohammed had to also dig in. So it got a little bit tight for Hamdi, but he will go through, and Pereira has to sit and wait. But Motorola with a pretty big margin on the line.
Well, Pereira's time of 54.36, faster than the first heat time, so no worries there. Motorola making it through. That's a new South American record, regional record 53.38. Venezuela having a really good games. Mohammed and Hamdi also going through. Real blanket finish for second, third and fourth. These are the men who go through. Paulo Pereira and Valentin Bertrand will be in the final also as fastest losers. Motorola with the fastest time, but the toy looks so comfortable.
Now the javelin, as we look forward to the men's 800 metres T54 final, which will be a great spectacle. But let's go back to the javelin. F38 final. Haman was leading the last time we looked, but the young Colombian here on screen, Lukumi Villegas, looking to get over 49.19 to try and rattle the cage of Haman, but he's not going to do it with that, unfortunately. 42.18, his mark remains at 49.19, which means he's the silver medalist in the men's javelin F38. Now, this is Reinhard Hamann, the current leader. So the gold medal is his, but he's looking now for a record. 51.37, world record, Paralympic record. One last big throw. Oh, it's not going to be quite a world record, Paralympic record, but it's over the 50. We know he can throw over 50 metres. He's thrown 50.22 before. Has he been able to blow that out of the water? He's dashing over to get the South African flag. It's 50.96. 50.96. So it's a record for his region. Absolute Paralympic glory for Reinhard Hamann with a personal best. He would have been dreaming about that last night, and he's got it out there, and look at that. No more energy could be spent on that throw. That's a big result for South Africa. Gold medal South Africa, silver medal Colombia, bronze medal Iran. Fourth place was Ahn from China, Jaden Sawyer from Australia in fifth place. But he drapes the South African flag around him, and a real celebration, in the crowd on that side of the stadium just before the mix zone have really enjoyed that. As we move on to one of our highlight races, the men's 800 metres T54 final.
The fastest wheelchair racers in the world, and a real showpiece in this 800 metres. The reigning European, Paralympic, Asian Game champions are all here. The defending champion, David Weir of Great Britain. The Asian champion, Saishong Kongjian of Thailand. The 400 metres gold medalist here as well, Kenny Van Weigel. And a number of notable men awaiting their first Paralympic title. Liu Zhang of China, silver in the 400 metres here, and the reigning world champion over 100 and 400. He's in 8th. For Tunisia, the 400 metres bronze medalist, Yassim Kabi, in his first Paralympic Games. The defending champion, reigning European champion, the 6 times Paralympic and 6 times world champion for Great Britain, David Weir. In lane 5, the 2013 world champion, bronze in the 1500 metres at London 2012, for South Korea, Kim Kyu-dai. The 7 times world champion. European champion in this as part of a treble in Swansea in 2014. Still awaiting his first Paralympic crown, Marcel Hug of Switzerland. The 400 meters champion here from Rio. The reigning European champion over 400 meters also. From the Netherlands, Kenny van Weigel. Champion 3 times in the 4x4 relay, and bronze in the 200 meters in 2011 for China, Kui Yangfeng. And the reigning Asian Games champion over 100 and 800 meters, but without a global gold to his name yet. For Thailand, Saishon Kongchen. So much racing between these men so far this week. Will Ware successfully defend his title? Can Van Weigel make it a double? Can who get gold? Kongchen, Kui, Van Weigel, Hu, Kim, Ware, Gabi and Liu. We're away in the final of the men's 800 meters in the T54. Hug making his way into position straight away. Kongchen is on the inside. Van Weigel and Kui on his inside as well. And look at the gap that's opened up straight away. And it's Marcel Hug who hits the front on the far straight. Van Weigel of the Netherlands getting into position right alongside on the inside. Coming now for China is Kui Yangfeng, but Hug is putting a stall out straight away on the inside. It's Kongchen of Thailand with the blue sleeves. David Ware happily at the back of the moment. Van Weigel for the Netherlands, still moving along on the outside in 4th place. In the black for Korea, Kim Gyu-dai, and also in the black, Gabi at the back. There's the bell in this 800 meters final. And it's Marcel Hug, the silver bullet, who still leads this final. For China, it's Kui Yangfeng, and it's Kongchen. There's a bit of a gap opening up now. In 3rd place, they're the 3 leaders. The rest trying to draw clear. Chasing hard for Korea is Kim in 4th. Behind him in 5th is Gabi for Tunisia. Weir is on the outside. Further back for the Netherlands is Van Weigel. It's Marcel Hug who leads into the closing straight in this Paralympic 800 final. Gabi's making a big move on the outside. It's a big lead. It's a huge lead. Paralympic champion. He's the golden bullet. Marcel Hug has done it. The Paralympic champion. Gabi is up in 2nd place and looks to be Kongchen in 3rd. But how long he's waited? And the 15th of September, 2016, Marcel Hug has taken the gold at the Paralympic Games. How he wanted that. He led from start to finish. 1:33.76. Gabi, the silver for Tunisia. Kongchen, the bronze for Thailand. Kim in 4th, Kui 5th. But Marcel Hug, you've done it at last.
Well, I think anybody who follows Paralympic sport or anybody who follows Olympic sport is so happy to see that. To be 7 times world champion and not win a Paralympic gold. It had to happen eventually. And I think you'll find that Weir got caught up a little bit in his own tactics because he sat behind Van Weigel, and to most, with a lap to go, you thought that's not a bad move, but Van Weigel was struggling, and all of a sudden Weir found himself in an impossible position. With 250 metres to go, this man was just free rolling out in front. Marcel Hug, he dictated the way he wanted to, and Weir was too far back. He set himself an impossible task, but you could just see he wanted it so badly. And in the end, even though it seemed such an even field, he's annihilated them. He's absolutely annihilated them. This man, Kongchen, I thought down the back was going to be a real threat. He came into it 3rd wheel, but no threat whatsoever. It was no contest.
At long last, Marcel Hug is the Paralympic champion. He's done it over 800 meters, and it really looked in that semi-final as if this week that was the right distance for him. Kongchen looked to make a good move late on. Gabi with the marvelous silver medal to go to his 400 meters bronze. Kongchen gets the bronze in this to go with his 3rd place in the 1500 meters. So Marcel Hug, a marvelous champion, as Luchemi Villegas of Colombia celebrates his javelin silver.
Well, he's the new kid on the block, this man, 18 years of age. And almost was able to knock over Haman from South Africa with so much more experience, including the World Championship victory in Doha. And in the end, it was a bronze medal to this man, Javed Hadani. So it was a top competition, the men's Javelin F38. Gold to South Africa, silver to Colombia, and bronze to the Islamic Republic of Iran. But this man can't stop celebrating. He has thrown a record best of 50.96 for his region, a personal best by a long way.
And Yassim Garbi, I can tell you, has been disqualified in that 800 meters final. More on that in a moment.
So Korea in third in that 800 final, China fourth and also fifth.
Well, what a marvellous win for South Africa and Haman, who's won the last 2 world titles. It's a 3rd global gold in a row. Haman wins the Javelin, 50.96. The Temi Viegas, the silver for Colombia, and Javed Hadani, the bronze for Iran.
So some great track action in the space of half an hour. Really has been a tip-top session. And we now move to the men's 400 meters T13 final. Before we do that, the result has come through from the long jump, and possibly a little bit of an upset here.
Ristowski taking it ahead of Kuharczyk, 5.79 to 5.55. Kuharczyk, the reigning champion, dethroned. But Marcel Hug, the race of his life, the 7 times world champion, but this means so much. Previously, 6 Paralympic medals, 3 silver, 3 bronze. Hug wins at 133.76. Kongen now upgraded to the silver, 134.74. And Kim Gudai, the bronze for Korea, 134.98. With Kree and Louis 4th and 5th. We're in 6th, but Garbi disqualified.
So the men's 400 meters T13 final. The world record holder goes here, Mohammed Amgoon, 47.83. And this is the field. All T13 classified markets. Price in lane 1, Brazil, with Araujo in 2, Nambala for Namibia, who was their opening leg in their relay team and finished in 4th. This is Fouad Bakar from Algeria. We've got Fouad Bakar and Abdallah Bakar in the same race here from Algeria. This is Tyson Gunter. You can't miss Tyson with the blazing white hair. He is next door to Mohamed Hammoumou from Algeria, who have a strong hand in this 400 final. World record holder Mohammed Amgoon, 3rd in this event in London, and is the reigning world champion. And he met Johannes Nambala in the World Championship, so Nambala with a score to settle. He was the world champion in 2013, this man Nambala. Silver medalist here in the 100 is Enrique Araujo. Qualified at a time of 50.09. Can run quicker. His personal best of 49.66 will at least see him in a mix for a bronze. And Markeith Price from the USA still on the improve, the 26-year-old. So lining up. Amgoon looking focused and a shade nervous, it must be said. So the 2 world champions from previous editions in Doha and in Lyon. Amgoon in 5 and Nambala 3 respectively. Looks as though lane 4 vacant, by the way. Abdallah Bakar is a do not start. So away they go, men's 400 T13 final. Gunter away to a fair start in 7. Is already chasing Barker on the outside. Back towards the inside, coming through very quickly is Amgoon. And moving up to Hamumu, immediately there on the left of him. Also Nambala in lane number 3 with work to do. He can spot Amgoon as they come off the back. 200 to go. Amgoon goes to the lead from Hamumu. He's outside. Now Nambala's lifting in lane number 3. So the 2 previous world champions come round the turn. Amgoon to the left. Nambala steaming through on the right. 70 to go. Nambala, Amgoon, the world record holders lifting. Nambala just in front. Amgoon is trying hard. He's breaching the gap. He's coming hard and won. Amgoon's won it in a world record of 47.16 and beats Nambala. Oh, what a race it was. They met in the World Championships. Nambala wanted to settle the score. Amgoon had to fight for his life. Look how much they put into it. He picks himself off the floor with a world record and a gold medal. 47.15. Mohamed Amgoon has done it again. The fastest he has ever run. And it's a race that means so much. It's the only discipline he competes in. And a bronze medalist in London 4 years ago. So the sweet taste of gold medal success at Paralympics. Boy, he had to fight for it though. And look at the the team, the squad from Morocco.
Well, that's what it's all about. A magnificent race between these two, charging against each other over the line. Both inside Amgoon's old world record, and the Mumu in third wasn't very far off that either. Great respect between these two superb athletes. The gold for Amgoon in Morocco. He had to destroy his own world record, almost 3/4 of a second off that in a 400 meters, in order to get the gold.
He's so excited, he's avoiding journalists, he wants...
This is what it's all about as well.
There you go. The family, the entourage, they're delighted, the Moroccans, and so they should be. There's a real cluster of them just below the media tribune here. There'd be 15 or 20 of them. And you can see what it's taken out of him. But he got a good start. His run down the back was impressive. And I thought Nambala was battling at one point, but didn't he run a bend, Nambala? And he's put himself in calculations here, and in the end, it was just a final thrust to the line.
What a blinding finish, and just getting out in front right at the end, Amgoon, with Nambala leading with still 10 meters to go, but Amgoon had enough of the momentum. They both charged towards the line and threw themselves over it. And Amgoon flailing by this stage. What a dip by these two. But that's a proper dip from both men, you have to say. And Amgoon, as you can see from the photo finish, was on his way down by that stage. It's a real tactic that's emerged in the past few weeks. And it seems to be successful too, and why not if he can get you? I mean, both end up on the ground. They both broke the world record, but Amgoon marginally faster. A great run between these two, and magnificent respect.
And full credit to the Algerian as well. Mohamed Hamumu in third place, coming in as a bit of an unknown quantity at top level, gets the bronze medal ahead of his countryman Fouad Barker. And then it was Price, Araujo and Gunter. World record for Amgoon, 47.15. It's a gold medal to Morocco.
We've got some victory ceremonies to come after all that excitement. And this was one of the races of the day and one of the races of the week. And one of the champions of the week too, it must be said. And this men's 400 meters T44. These are the Blade Runners, and these three men could give us some magnificent racing over the next decade. And I think Bob Fisher would agree. Paralympic Order recipient. He's had an absolutely superb competition. Bronze here in the 400 meters and silver in the 2. Was disqualified in the 4x1. That was quite a race. You remember he had the ankle leg and they broke the world record, but that was then rescinded. Yeah, David Berra from that great Bayer Leverkusen club. Bronze in the 200 meters here, gold in the 4x1, so now he's got the complete set of medals. Silver in this 400. Still the reigning world champion. There's a silver Tom as well. He'll find a fine home for all of those, I'm sure. European champion in this in 2014. He's one of the breakout stars of this Paralympic Games. A double over 200 and 400 for Liam Malone. How big a name he's becoming back home in New Zealand as well, this man from Auckland. 22 years old. Woodall is still only 17. David Berra turned 30 2 days ago, but Liam Malone picks up his 3rd medal of Rio 2016. God Defend New Zealand will be sung with gusto here.
He's a bit of a performer, isn't he? Just bowing to the New Zealand contingent. They're delighted.
Sung with gusto by them. God Defend New Zealand, Liam Malone, the champion, Berra with the silver, and Woodall, the bronze.
They're stars, they're great advertisements for the sport. And that's an enduring image of the Games, the 3 of them coming around the turn together.
Well, brilliant racing between these 3. Malone had to postpone his plans for a little while to get involved in international athletics, but now he's here, and now he's having a ball.
Yeah, real friendship with David Berra too, by the look of it, hugging each other as they walk off. That's terrific to see. Next victory ceremony, women's long jump, T20. And many of the Polish contingent would have expected a gold medal here. Close competition. It was Mikela Bristowski from Croatia, the 26-year-old who threw the best she's ever thrown. I keep saying that, long jump.
In the long jump, yes.
We're bouncing around so much.
Well, she threw herself out.
5.79 with Kucichuk from Poland 5:55, and Ismail from Malaysia 5:20.
Yeah, Malaysia have had a really good games here overall, and they're being rewarded back home with a yearly pension for each gold medal they produce. The bronze, a nice little honour as well. Malaysia have now picked up 4 medals here, 3 of them golds, and this bronze medal. Loads of gold medals in her career. She was the defending champion going into this. She's won the last 2 World Championships. European gold in Grosseto. But it's silver this time for Karolina Kucharczyk of Poland. They do it twice there. A really great campaigner. And I mean, the woman who beat her, you can see the respect and just the mutual love they have for each other. Michaela Radowski of Croatia, the European champion in 2014, the world champion in 2011, but she's had to play second fiddle a lot behind Kucharczyk in recent years. She's still the reigning world champion in the triple jump, but she picks up the gold medal here in Rio. It was a fantastic combination. She had to break the Paralympic record to do it. 5.79 meters. The lead ebbed and flowed. But Radowski is the champion for Croatia. It's been another one of the highlights of the morning here in Rio at the engine now. Michaela Radowski getting the gold for Croatia in this women's long jump. A triumph of real quality and a great battle, particularly between the top two. It's the case of these two. Actually, they found themselves left behind here, and they left the rest behind really as well. But they've been contesting gold and silver medals for the past 5-6 major championships and will continue to do so. That'll be celebrated in Pula. Quite a while to come, I bet. Still a lot to go. Women's 1500 meters T11 semi-finals. Women's discus will continue for quite a while too.
Well, next up, the men's javelin throw victory ceremony. And we saw South Africa take the gold medal, but it was a real challenge from a new young star in Fernando Lukumi Villegas from Colombia. So this was a javelin for the ages. Reinhard Hermann, 26 years of age. only competing in the javelin. He's the double world champion with gold in Doha and also Leon. Has contested shot put at world championships before, but only concentrating on javelin here at the Paralympic Games. Diagnosed with cerebral palsy at 5 years of age. What a powerhouse he is in the javelin, but the man on the left gave him a real challenge. An unexpected challenge from Fernando Lukumi Villahas, and the bronze medal here from Javad Hadani, who threw 48.46 in his final round to make a good thing of the bronze medal. Also only contesting the javelin, interestingly, was the gold medalist in the discus throw in Beijing and also London, but has had some decent results in the javelin as well, including a third in Beijing. So he turns back the clock, if you like, 8 years for another bronze in this discipline. Javad Hadani. Looking forward to seeing the progress of this young man. He brought plenty of excitement. He has got the 100 metres to come in the T38 classification here in Rio. Fernando Lukumi Villahas. And as usual, Colombia able to produce some very exciting and talented athletes. And the gold medalist from South Africa, Reinhard Hamann, 50.96, was about 70 centimetres further than anything he has thrown previously. Records right across the board from these three men as well, with regional records for South Africa, Colombia and Iran. It was a high standard. He was leading all of the way, was challenged by the Colombian. Taste success. This is Reinhard Hamann and the national anthem of South Africa. So it is South Africa with the gold medal. Silver Colombia, bronze to Iran. And a small haul for the South Africans here at the track and field, but That was a spectacular one in the javelin. So as we head towards the end of the session, we have a couple of track events to come. The women's 1500 metres T11 classification. But let's move to the men's javelin.
Yes, this is the men's javelin F38. And some big names doing battle in this. Double Paralympic champion and a double world champion. This is the former Javed Hodani of Iran. 2 previous golds in London and Beijing, but in the discus, he was a silver medalist in the 2011 World Championships in Christchurch. Javed Hodani of Iran. And he really made himself very competitive in this right from the get-go. That final line there, the World and Paralympic record mark from Athens 2004 from Alexander Doroshenko, this F38. The least impaired, the strongest of the cerebral palsy standing categories. And Hodani, with his final attempt, going out to 48.46, a new Asian record to get ahead of An Dongjian of China and to secure the bronze medal. Now what a debut this is for Luis Fernando Lucumi Villegas of Colombia, the 18-year-old. A new South American and America's record in the 3rd round, 49 meters 19. Absolutely magnificent. Really sent that one out well. We're seeing so many new nations excelling in this discipline. That world record line would not be broken today, but the standard fantastically high. And Doroshenko, that world record holder, finishing out of the medals in 6th. The man who's won the last 2 World Championships in Lyon and Doha, Reinhard Hamann of South Africa from Cape Town, sending it out a long way. 50.22, his previous best set this year. Immensely close to the world record mark. He was only 40 centimeters out in the end. 50.96. He'd already won by this stage, thanks to his 3rd round throw, bettering it in the 4th. But in round 6, going beyond 50 meters, for the first time in this competition, a new African record of 50 meters, 96. Really sent that one out. Wanted his fans to leave on a high, the real effort that he put in. Aiming, no doubt, for something a little bit further, but he can't really complain about what he did. 50.96, the best throw of his life, and no thrower from the continent of Africa has ever thrown further. A magnificent set of marks. 4 of them would have been enough to win gold in their own right. So Reinhard Hamann takes the gold for South Africa, 50 meters 96. Lucumi Villegas, the silver for Colombia, and Javed Hodani, the bronze for Iran. .33 Celsius. And you'll note the crowd having to move back in the stand, although not as humid as in previous days. You'll see that gap at the front of the east stand and the back straight. Everybody's moved to the back. Quite a lot of standing in the back I can see from our vantage point in the west stand here. Everything's named after somebody in Brazil. I'm sure there are more official names than that. This stadium has 4 names. Nilton Santos, one of the great Botafogo footballers. The statue's outside. So Avalanche, the former president of FIFA, it is the Stadio Olimpico, but to most it is the ancient hours. This is the part of Rio that we're in. Built for the Pan Am Games in 2007, the capacity increased to 60,000 for the Olympic and Paralympic Games. And this blue track has been a feature here for quite a few years. become quite a trend, mainly due to the IAAF World Championships in Berlin in 2009, Usain Bolt, all those great world records, and their track only blue, because when they were upgrading the stadium, putting the track in, the home football club there, Hertha Berlin, said, well, we play in blue, you can only have a track if it's blue. And then the trend was started. This is the women's 1500 meters T11, complete visual impairment. And 5 go in this. European champion Osnur Alamor, and also the Asian and world champion Zheng Jin.
So 2 heats, first 2 in each heat go through the next 2 fastest advance. And we have Brazil in lane number 1, right of your picture. Renata Bozzone Teixeira with a personal best of 4:59.93. We have Luzanne Kutsi from South Africa. The 23-year-old. There's Zheng Jin from China. And haven't they had an excellent Paralympic Games program on the track? Part of the relay team that won the 4x100 meters, and also the world champion here, clocking 4:47.71 in the final in Doha. And there is Bozzone Teixeira, 42 years of age, only contesting the 1500 meters. She's the world champion in the 800 and the reigning bronze medalist in this event in World Championships. So we've got the winner of the Worlds and the bronze medalist here in this heat. So a field of 5 to go, which means we have 10 out there on the track, and already blazing off to a quick start is Uluma from Turkey, with on the outside, not far away, is Zheng. A little bit of crowding in the early stages, but nothing too dramatic. And at this stage, Teixeira relaxing, tucked away on the inside, and curtsy around her. So as they come around the turn on the first occasion, Uluma is the leader, from Zheng from China in second place. Koesh on the inside. We've already seen a Kenyan gold medal in this session. Kutsi covering extra ground, trying to stay out of trouble on the outside, but she's about to surge up. And last the inside is Bozzone Teixeira, and they've got 3 laps to go.
Yeah, somewhat sedate pace, 55 seconds for the first 300 meters. Zheng Jin, a really interesting case. She's the world 1500 meters champion. She's won the last 2 Asian Games, world record holders, broke the world record in 2010 and then did it again. Gold in the 4x1, but she's also entered in the marathon. And you just thought wheelchair racers did that. Osnur Alamor, married recently, also racing under the name of Osnur Yilmaza. 3 gold medals in the Europeans in Swansea in 2014 when she was an out-and-out sprinter in the 1, the 2 and the 4. Gold in the 15 and bronze in the 4. That was in this year's Europeans, as Zheng makes her way on the inside, Zheng Jin. Bronze in the 800 also, as well as that 1500 meters gold in Doha at the World Championships. Lots of great support for the 800 meters world champion. Expect a lot from Renata Bozzone Teixeira here, who's from Serra. Bronze in the 15 in Doha, went on to do well there after silver in the 1500 meters in the Pan Ams in Toronto. And that's the 1-2 at the moment, as you might well expect. 2 of our medalists from the World Championships taking the top 2 positions. A little bit of a gap back down into third then, as we hit 2 laps to go.
So leaving the straight, it is out in front, Zheng from Koesh, and they're steadily getting away from the others. It's Kutsi in third position, and now a little bit of a race developing at the back of the field between Teixeira and also the initial leader in Uluma. Now that lap was 1:18.38, so Zheng looking pretty comfortable here, being paced out by the guide. Thinking about a little bit of a maneuver here, Koesh down the back straight, and slowly Kutsi is just picking up a little bit of ground, but won't threaten the first 2. As they come off the back section, with just over a lap to go. Zheng just trying to break Koesh here, and it looks as though she may have. Zheng coming around, Koesh having to really surge just to stay in touch around that turn. But you can see how carefully the guide is helping her pace this out. So Zheng leads Koesh as they halt up front, is getting a little bit closer and just keeps Zheng where she wants her to be with the first two going through. So there really isn't much of a rush for them. They could just go around in this order if they really wanted to. And then it's a gap to Coetzee, who has to put in now for South Africa in third place just to make sure that she gets a decent time with a lap to go.
There's Zheng and Koech, the 1-2, and it is the top two who go through, so they can trot around from here if they wish. Coetzee in third place. Koech, who finished in 16th place overall in the rankings in the 200 metres. So coach is Albert Carrere, who looks after a lot of the Kenyan para-athletes. Shefri Rotich is her guide. Sheng Jin from Shenyang. Not really being trouble the top two. Coetzee really more than anything else looking to record a fast time here if she can. She's a 5-minuter, could well break her lifetime best, and that could well help her into the final as the fastest loser. It's the top two going through, and they're definitely the top two in your picture who are turning for the final bend. Sheng Jin has done very well here. There's lots of support for the Brazilian Renato Busoni Teixeira in her bid to try and get her up and get her into the final as the fastest loser. It's the next two who advance, but it's the top two who are going through, and they can't get this wrong. Sheng Jin allowed across the line by our guide, and then Koech in second place, and I think this probably is a lot more her distance than the 200 metres. Coetzee with a lifetime best by around 4 seconds. She comes through in third place for South Africa. Busoni Teixeira is in fourth place for Brazil, and her guide just let her through well. And the European champion back in fifth place. And she's been eliminated, Osner Alamor Yilmaza. 4:47.36. Very comfortable, and not much more to write home about there. Sheng the winner, and Koech in second. Koech, by the way, with a lifetime best, something like 13 seconds inside her own mark, and that's a Paralympic record for Sheng Jin as well.
So it's Zheng and Koech automatically going through, and that time for the opposition to Shearer 5:06.09, because there's been a disqualification by the looks of it.
Coates has been disqualified, and it may have been the case of her guide helping her over the line. We'll review that certainly. There are two ways in the finish where you can be disqualified, but there's Zheng making a move down the middle for what would be a Paralympic record, and Koech with a regional record as well.
We just did see the cameraman pick that up, Coetzee's right arm nudging in to Koech. So if that was the moment, we've just seen it, who knows? The jury sitting above us. We don't have communication to them, but we'll try and find a reason out for that. But yes, these two athletes looking comfortable.
Yes, not much trouble in the end really for Zheng Jin or for Koech. And marvellous runs from both as well, it must be said. Very, very impressive 4:47.36 for Zheng Jin with that new Paralympic record. Not a world record though. She holds that 4:38.66, which is obviously the Asian record too. But she's taken a good chunk off the Paralympic record. And in second place with the new African record, Nancy Koech, 4:48.70. So they're the two who go through. Zheng the winner, Koech in second. Busoni Teixeira at the moment is the fastest loser, with Coetzee disqualified.
Some field action still taking place. We've got some discus action with quite a large field, so it's taking a while to get through that particular discipline. the women's discus throw, but we're moving on back to the track. This is the women's 1500 metres, second heat of the T11 classification.
Yes, and in this is the former triathlon world champion. That's Yvonne Mosquera-Schmidt of the United States, and the bronze medalist in the Pan Ams for Mexico, Rodriguez Saavedra from Guadalajara. Well, let's bring you through the field here. This is Maritza Arango-Buitrago of Colombia, the reigning Pan American champion. Silver in Doha, Lyon and Christchurch in the last two World Championships. And if you're counting, the last three World Championships. We also have Befila Boy of Angola, Mosquera-Schmidt, a world champion in the triathlon, but they're doing very well in the track as well. Nice hairstyle too from Mosquera-Schmidt of the United States, born in Bogota, but now based in San Diego. Paula Guzman of Chile, her first major. Maria Fuiza, a silver medalist in the Europeans this year. In fact, silver medalist in the last two Europeans. And Rodriguez Saavedra, bronze in the Pan Ams. Quality field then. Arango-Buitrago is the fastest in the field, 4:47, and also won bronze here in the 4x100 meters relay. So they're very durable, these T11 athletes, quite a number of them obviously. In the past they've been T12s, but sight to generation. Arango-Buitrago of Colombia looking to hit out the front, and look at how stretched this field of six are right from the get-go. It's an amazing gap straight away. The rest looking to being caught out. There is really good quality in this field with that gold from Toronto for Arango-Buitrago and all those silver medals from Doha, Lyon and Christchurch, the latter two for Arango-Buitrago coming in the 800 meters, and the most recent one as she stepped up in the 1500 meters. And she'd finished third in the 800 final in Doha, but was disqualified there. It's a good lead she takes up with 3 laps to go.
Arango-Buitrago is the leader from Bayer in second place from Angola. And then in third place is Yvonne Mosquera-Schmidt from the USA. And then in fourth place is Saavedra Rodriguez from Mexico. They are the main four in this heat going down the back section. And just leaving their inside line, the Americans, Yvonne Mosquera-Schmidt left of picture. Kyle Hardwell is her guide. And just moving up behind them now, the Mexican duo, the guide Felipe Modesto Estasio, just making sure that they're well and truly in touch. But coming up towards the turn, it is Arango-Buitrago. So we've already seen the reigning world champion compete and win in the first heat and looked in excellent form. Well, now we've got the silver medalist Arango-Buitrago, who is going to try and lead out as well. And we can compare. 4:47.37 was the first heat win. Lead from in second place Schmidt, who was able to cross back to the inside and trail the speed. And then in third place we have, taking a clear third as well, leaving the home running Rodriguez Saavedra from Mexico. And as a result, Boya from Angola has dropped away. She's looking a bit tired now.
Yeah, all the double barrels at the front, really. Arango-Buitrago for Colombia with 750 to go. Then Mosquera-Schmidt for the United States in second place, and Rodriguez Saavedra for Mexico in third, all of whom have had really solid results in the past. Yvonne Mosquera, as she was known, originally born in Bogota. Her husband, John Schmidt, has been a regular guide for her in these competitions, but alongside Kyle Wardwell today. And now a little bit of a move from the Pan Am champion, Maritza Arango-Buitrago, as she moves away. Yvonne Mosquera-Schmidt, really, really talented triathlete, and we've seen a lot of them in these games have a go on the track and do quite well. Third for Saavedra Rodriguez at the moment as well, the bronze in Toronto. And these are the top three by a long, long way. There's a long gap back to fourth. There looks to be Befila Boya, who was the silver medalist in the 800 meters, at the World Championships in Doha back in October. But Aranga Batraga, very versatile, bronze in that 4x1 where Sheng Jin, the winner of the other heat, won the gold medal with China. They take the bell. Aranga Batraga is the leader. And now up into second place for Mexico, Rodriguez Saavedra. And in third is Mosquera Schmidt inside the final lap.
Well, that previous lap was a second faster than the lap previous. So just trying to break their hearts now. Aranga Batraga, Colombian out clear. That last lap, 1:21.99. And leads out by a good 10 to 15 metre margin. But they've worked the tactics well, the Mexicans, Rodriguez, Saavedra. They've just steadily moved into it. Felipe Modesto Estasio making sure that his athlete stays in touch, and that's exactly what they're doing again as they move off the back. So it's Aranga Batraga leading. They're going to make a good thing of it here. The Mexicans, Rodrigo Saavedra. Will they try and challenge here? The first two go through anyway, and they've sustained a good 30-metre margin at least to the Americans. Yvonne Mosquera Schmidt in third, but down the straight, look at her ping. Aranga Batraga heard them coming and sprints away. Getting tired is Rodrigo Saavedra. 4:47.37 was the first heat. It's going to be nowhere near that the second heat, but it is the Pan American champion home in 4:58.44 from in second place. It was Rodriguez Saavedra, and clocking in third, Yvonne Mosquera Schmidt, the 39-year-old, as they come in. Now here's Bayer coming up the straight, having to fend off Fuyuza from Portugal. It's going to be really close. Bayer just gets that from Fuyuza, and then behind them, up the straight, comes Paula Guzman from Chile to round out the field. So 1:18.66 the final lap. And it was Aranga Batraga showing some versatility in the end, at the end of 1,500 metres, to find some energy and sprint away. That already has a mountain to climb to chase Zheng in the final.
Well, it was almost, you might have noticed a bit of a disaster there from Mosquera Schmidt, because she was coming through in third place, but she was well behind her guide, Kyle Wardwell, who basically just had to stop and let her overtake right on the line. Otherwise, it would have been disqualification if they'd just followed the natural rhythm from there. Aranga Batraga hitting the front straight away. You can see the binding with her guide, Jonathan Sanchez Gonzalez, the reigning Pan Am champion, and all those World Championship silvers as well. And there would have been another had there not been disqualification in the 8. 4:58.44, lifetime best 4:47 set this year. No real worries there. Second place for Rodriguez Saavedra behind, 5:01.47. It's good rhythm really between the two. Nice chase in the race for fourth place. Boyer just fending off Fuyuza for that. And Mosquera Schmidt, 5:12, bit tentative for her, I may feel, but remember there was a big gap after the disqualification in the first heat. Maybe a while. Mosquera Schmidt coming in third place behind our top two in shot here. Aranga Batraga easing into the final, not full belt really. .4:58.43, the Colombians' winning time. Here's how they rack up. Rodriguez Saavedra in second place, 5:01.47. Mosquera Schmidt and Ophelia Boyer. Not sure they're going to get through.
Well, let's confirm that now. This is the run through of the finalists. Zheng Koesh obviously there, Aranga Batraga and Rodriguez Saavedra. The Brazilian goes through, Teixeira, and the American Schmidt will go through to make up that field of 6 in the final of the women's 1,500 metres. Now it's time for the men's 400-metre T13 victory ceremony. And another close finish. The world record holder getting there in the end. It was Morocco, Mohamed Amgoun, the 27-year-old world record holder in the T13 class. It was Anne Cody, governing board member of the IPC, is officiating here at this victory ceremony. Brigadier General Carlos Caribe to assist. The bronze medal position, Mohamed Hammoumou from Algeria, who had multiple starters in the race. First major international competition for Mohamed Hammoumou. He's a student away from the track. Comes in to the Paralympics in Rio as a bit of an unknown quantity, but has just given them something to think about in this 400 metres. And he looks delighted. Fantastic. The silver medalist, Johannes Nambala, the 25-year-old from Namibia, a part of their relay team that just missed a medal, but this is his second silver of the championships after finishing in the silver medal position in the 100 metres. He's the world champion in the 200 and was the world champion in this event back in Lyon. That was back in 2013. So it was a case of the 2013 world champion leading into the straight, being chased down by the world record holder. And there wasn't a great deal in it on the line. But a brilliant smile from Johannes Nambala. Both athletes diving at the line. Mohamed Amgoun from Morocco, 27 years of age, from Casablanca. Bronze medalist in this event in London. The world champion from Doha. It was a clash of the titans, and when you get that, you get a close photo finish, and this man had to really lunge. He would have never used that much capacity that he did in the last 5 metres of that race. What a race it was. It was a gold medal to Morocco, silver medal Namibia, bronze Algeria. Incidentally, Algeria finished 4th in the race as well with Fouad Barka. Now the national anthem from Morocco.
That's a dramatic end. Gold for Morocco. That was a dramatic end to the race as well. Mohamed Amgoun just getting there on the line, diving across. Nambala doing the same for Namibia. But Amgoun just getting past in time, and Hammoumou gets the bronze for Algeria. If you're waiting for the women's discus, that is coming shortly. And another big victory ceremony.
Ladies and gentlemen, the victory ceremony for the men's 800 meters T54.
An excellent race in the men's 800 meters T54. The fastest wheelchair races, and a man on the top of the podium that we've seen many times before, but never on this platform. Yasin Gabi finished in second place in this, but was disqualified quite soon after the race. So the man fourth over the line, the former world champion Kim Gyu-dae of South Korea, upgraded to take the bronze medal. His third Paralympics medal, and they are all bronze. Kim had taken the world title in this in 2013 in Lyon. Saisong Kongen, the Asian champion, upgraded then to the silver medal, his 6th Paralympic silver and his 10th Paralympic medal in his career, his 20th global medal, 10 at the Paras, 10 at the Worlds, still awaiting a gold at those. He's probably got a room full of major international championship medals now. He is the reigning Asian Games champion over 800 meters, and it continues Thailand's very impressive medal record, medal haul in athletics of this Paralympic Games. They now have 7. Before today, 6 Paralympic medals, 3 silver, 3 bronze, a 7 times world champion, 17 world championship medals, one of the greatest we've ever seen in wheelchair racing, and at long last, it is Paralympic gold for Marcel Hug, the silver bullet from Switzerland. How long he's had to wait for this, and how sweet this must feel. One of the most popular winners at this Games, surely. Marcel Hug is the Paralympic champion. Marcel Hoog turns as the 800 meters champion in Rio de Janeiro. And he led from start to finish. It was the right distance for him, went away at the gun, and nobody was going to overtake him. Kongchen with the silver, and Kim the bronze. Even a roadblock wouldn't have stopped him. He was in that mood today. That this finally would be his day at the Paralympic Games. Well, we've had our entertainment today. No doubt about that. And those wheelchair racers in the 54s, the fastest, the strongest, the best. Always give us a big highlight, and really it is great to see Marcel Hoog finally take it, because, I mean, by a long chalk, Kongchen might stake a claim to it too. Absolutely the best wheelchair racer in the men's category to have never claimed Paralympic gold. Well, we don't have to say that anymore, ever. The final of the women's long jump T20, a spectacular competition. This is the Asian Games champion for Malaysia, Siti Nur Radia Ismail. At this stage, in third place, Siti Nurasaya Muhammad Arifin in third. The Asian record holder. But Ismail would remove that mantle from her, 5:20, a new Asian record, and up into the bronze medal position. Muhammad Arifin would take fourth place. But what a battle for the gold. Karolina Kuharczyk, the reigning champion in this, the reigning European champion, and has won the last two world titles, going out to 5.55 meters to take the lead in the second round, ahead of Croatia's Michaela Ratowski, who regularly finishes second behind her. But he's won a number of notable golds in her own right. Well, here she is, the European champion from 2014, the 2011 world champion, determined that 5.67 coming in the fourth round. And then in the final round, an awesome new record, 5.79 meters. And that's the gold for Croatia at long last in a Paralympic Games for Michaela Ratowski. It was bronze for her in 2011. She's the reigning world champion over triple jump, but these two have a great mutual respect for each other. It's the silver for Kuharczyk, it's the bronze for Michaela Ratowski of Croatia. We have been spoiled with the long jump this week, and these two, well, they can keep going for as long as they like. As far as I'm concerned, they've given us further great enjoyment today. So the result of the women's long jump T20, Michaela Ratowski takes the gold for Croatia, 5.79 meters. Karolina Kuharczyk, the silver for Poland, 5.55. And Siti Nur Radia Ismail, the bronze, 5.20 meters for Malaysia. The final of the women's discus, F57. Very strong throwing category. And here's Icharia Iyazi of Nigeria. 26-21 had her in 5th place in this competition. The throws coming in sets of 3, are taking a while for the athletes to get into position. Iyazi going into this with a lifetime best of 30-24. That might have been of good use to her today, but as it was, her 5th attempt of 27.54, a season's best, and will win her the bronze medal for Nigeria. The reigning European champion, Orla Barry, for Ireland from Ladies Bridge in East Cork, 29-22 in the 2nd round. 3 times she's won major championship medals, bronze in this in 2012 in London, and going a good distance out to 30 meters 06. Silver for Orla Barry, Ireland's 3rd athletics medal after the 2 golds, Ireland's 8th medal overall of the Games. But the defending champion and reigning world champion, she's won the last 3 world titles and the last Olympics, Nassima Saifi of Algeria, sending that out a long way. Very close to the world record that she holds of 34.68. This one instead, all the 3s, 33.33, a 2nd consecutive Paralympic title for Nassima Saifi of Algeria. That's now 5 global titles in a row for Saifi. 33 meters 33. Orla Barry, silver for Ireland, 30 meters 06. And Iyazi, the bronze for Nigeria, 27.54. And all told, it's been quite a day. Our parade of great champions there. Liam Malone, Marcel Hoog, the latest. 4 more world records on the track. And the evening session that's to come should scintillate all over again. Until then, bon dia.